All right, brother. Test 1, 2, test. Boy, that's hot, guys. Okay. I mean, it sounds great. I mean, it's the clearest it's been all year, but it's just hot. Best music of the season, Flecky. I thought you were just talking about when you're driving to Guyman, you can't drive 55. Come on now.
Is a production of Guthrie Football.
Live here in Noble Stadium, Ardmore, Oklahoma, Carter County, first round of the Oklahoma playoffs in Class 5A football. Alongside Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans. Up in the booth, Casey Porter joined us here in just a little bit. Craig Fleck and Kel Evans. Well, Phil, for the 13th year in a row, the Blue Jays have qualified for the 5A playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy. 13 straight years. Incredible atmosphere. Loud cheerleaders everywhere. We've got a band playing in the background, playing the greatest 80s music ever written the whole night. But yeah, incredible 13 straight years. What an incredible accomplishment.
Blue Jays are 5-5 overall. We're going to step up a little bit here. Blue Jays are 5-5 overall. Ardmore 8-2, Phil Nichols, and they are 5A1 district champions. Blue Jays have won 3 ball games in a row. Ardmore's coming off a loss to Lawton MacArthur, but this is a talented Ardmore team that played Carl Albert pretty close, 28-12 early in the season.
Yeah, great ball club, like you said, 8-2. Lost last week, pretty big actually, to Lawton Mac. I was asking some of the Ardmore faithful before the game. I said, "Would you have kids out? Were they hurt?" He said, "Nope." So they just came in and beat us. So, it is playoff time, so you kind of expect Mac to come around then. But great Ardmore team. I mean, they played Carl Albert harder than anybody all year, closest to anybody all year. So, Blue Jays got their hands full tonight.
Blue Jays have won 3 ball games in a row. Now there's three teams that are not in the playoffs, and Blue Jays should have won those games. But they're starting to play good football.
Yeah. I mean, last 5 weeks, you've seen the Blue Jays get a little better. Kids figuring out some positions. Whether it's our new tailback, Gavin at tailback, never played tailback before, goes over 1,000 yards last week. Jackson's he's really spinning the ball, doing well. Gooseby boys on defense. I'll tell you another kid, Kel Kaufman, has really came on at that safety position and done a fabulous job. And so a lot of kids figuring some things out, trying to get some chemistry within the club, but they've definitely gotten a lot better the last 5 weeks of the season.
Blue Jays are the underdogs here in Ardmore. Can they pull off the miracle? If they do, they got a home game next week inside Jellis Stadium. Take our opening timeout. When we come back, Phil and I will get ready for this Guthrie-Ardmore matchup. You're listening to Guthrie Blue Jay Football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
I'm Brian.
The flag bearers for this evening's game.
This is the second time the Blue Jays have been here since 2003. Blue Jays came here and got beat in 2003, but came here in 2008 and won that game here. So
big ball game. That was a crazy night. That was the night of the infamous hit from our favorite player, the Flying Squirrel. Here on this field, it was a great ball game. Of course, that 08 club, wonderful, one of the better teams we've seen in the last decade come out of Guthrie. But it seems like there's always some big plays, big things happening when we come to Ardmore, Oklahoma.
And when you look at Ardmore, a very talented program, and they've had some injuries, and I think they're out there. So we're about to have the national anthem in just a second.
Freaking out a little bit, so we got to get ready for it.
Let's go to the national anthem.
The words of our Pledge of Allegiance: one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stand as one as the pride of Ardmore performs our national anthem.
And there was tonight's national anthem performed nicely by the Ardmore High School Marching Band. But as we were talking about, the Blue Jays won 3 in a row. Ardmore's coming off an emotional loss to a rival here in Southwest Oklahoma. Blue Jays have got to play perfect football tonight to win.
We've got to play perfect football, no turnovers. We've got to execute in all 3 phases of the game. And we've got to have a little help, to be quite honest. And, it was one thing about last week's game. You can look at that Ardmore MAC game and you can say, well, geez, are they down? Well, they'd already secured the district title. Lawton Mac knew where they were at. There was really nothing on the line at all, and so you can't take a lot from a game like that to say where are they right now. I mean, Ardmore, we've got them as the number 2 team in 5A. That's where we have them, so right behind Carl Albert. So it's got to be a perfectly executed, perfect ball game for the Blue Jays to get out here with a win.
Getting a little chilly. I need to get to the press box. I know you're used to the elements, but pretty good weather here tonight.
Beautiful weather. Can't wait for dinner tonight. I appreciate your buying for everybody. I got that, yeah.
Hey, we need to get to another break. On the other side of this timeout, Casey was able to get with Coach Kelly Beebe, get his thoughts on tonight's matchup with the Ardmore Tigers. You're watching Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Blue Jays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division. The Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show continues next with the Golden Age Nursing Home Opponent Preview.
Sports, a powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Welcome back to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show and the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner. Oklahoma Farm Bureau is your central location for all of your insurance needs. Contact Merritt Roberts, 282-2266. That's at Oklahoma Farm Bureau. Oklahoma Farm Bureau living beside you, working for you. We now bring in the Blue Jay head coach, Kelly Beebe, and we kind of reflect on the entire season, a season that's seen a lot of downs and then some ups at the end of it. That's a good thing with a lot of confidence going into the postseason, Coach. But before we move into the third part of this season, the playoffs, let's kind of summarize how this year's gone for you.
Well, we started off the season with a young ball club, 8-9 seniors available to play, with 3 6A opponents, and I think we've gotten better and grown as a football team over the course of the year. We finished our 6A slate, and then we catch number 1, number 2, Carl Albert, Bishop McGinnis. Real viable chance to beat McGinnis on the road down there. Rough night out in Lawton, big homecoming win. And then, huge ball game over Piedmont, just, kids created ways to make plays and win. And then these last 3 weeks, we've been performing pretty well against the softer part of our schedule. But we've executed during the course of those games. And that's what I've been the most proud of. We've been able to throw and catch and block. We've been able to create turnovers, stop the run, get quarterback pressure. Kicking game's been good. So, those things set up well for us. We were in battles with Piedmont, Woodward, and then we had the mental grind of a Guyman game. So we're excited about our opportunity tonight. Glad to extend our playoff streak to 13. These kids and coaches have worked extremely hard to achieve that accomplishment and want to go down to Ardmore and perform at a high level and get out of there with a win.
We'll pause, fans, but don't go away. We'll finish our conversation with the Blue Jay head coach, Kelly Beebe, later on in the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show. But when we come back, much, much more on the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show.
Welcome back, Ardmore, Oklahoma. As we get set for tonight's coin toss, Blue Jays across the way, Ardmore on the home side. We'll go down with tonight's coin toss. Both players shaking hands, all 4 captains for each team.
I'll be your ref. Official over here is Jody Williams. He's going to be Ben Jarvis. Craig Ackridge, your line judge. Congratulations for your first round here, gentlemen, okay? I'm going to ask you to keep the sportsmanship up, keep your players under control and in check. We'll keep the game under control and check. We've got a coin here of heads, a zebra head, and a zebra tail. I'm going to flip it. You're going to call it in the air. And I'm going to ask you what he's going to call, okay? Say it loud enough where we can hear it. Go ahead. What do you call?
Tails.
Tails, and it is tails if you want to look at it.
Well, I tried to destroy the coin toss by hitting the official's arm, but Guthrie did win the toss, guys.
And I'm assuming an elect to defer like I do so many times.
Yes, we did defer.
Big games like this, Coach Beebe being a defensive coach, the defensive coach that he is, always likes to defer, get a good kick cover, then play defense and give your offense the ball the first time with good field position. That's been a formula throughout the years that has been very, very successful.
So Ardmore will get the ball first here in about a little under 4 minutes to kicking this one off here. And there are some great games. Of course, they're all big here in 5A playoffs and across the state of Oklahoma. And time now for our Eskridge Chevrolet keys to the game. And the Blue Jays, Casey, got to protect the ball and get off to a good start, I would think.
Yep, get off to a good start. I think getting a lead against a team like Ardmore that is so talented and they're so good on this field, for a team in the Guthrie Blue Jays who have played better lately, but point blank don't necessarily have a lot of confidence, in the sense that if things start unraveling, you wonder how they would handle it on the road against what we think is the second best team in all of 5A football. So I think getting a lead, especially early in this game, is the most important thing you can do. Whatever the best plays are in your offensive playbook, you need to call them on your very first possession, because it is absolutely paramount that you score, take the lead, and take this team that from time to time the confidence has gone up and then back down. Make sure and get a lead, make sure that confidence goes up to start this evening. Phil?
Well, you know, Chris, it's like you and I talked. I think it's got to be a perfectly executed ball game by the Blue Jays. Agree with what Casey just said, but I do think we're going to have to play absolutely perfect in all 3 phases of the ball game. You know, so I think if we do anything less than that, our season's done at the end of the night.
And I also think not only that, I think it's also going to take some help from the Ardmore side.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to have to play as well as they're wanting to play for us to have a chance as well.
Right.
Would you agree with that, Phil?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Chris and I talked a little about it earlier, and no question, they're going to have to put the ball on the ground. We're going to have to get a pick here and there. We're going to have to play some ugly football on that side. We're going to have to play pretty football to get out of here with a win.
And here's my point on that, as the Ardmore Tigers, as you see them take the field here on the bottom of your screen, right there, here come the Ardmore Tigers. The best way that you get a team to not play well is to get a lead on them, and then to get momentum, where the better you start playing, a lot of times, the more shell-shocked they become, and then they don't play quite as well. It's kind of a chain reaction.
No, it is. I mean, you got to get up there. You got to hit them. You know, you got to punch them in the mouth, right? I mean, you got to get physical with them. You got to get them out of their element. It's going to have to be a great effort by the Blue Jays. We're going to have a little bit of help. But you know what, guys? We've seen it happen before. So let's get ready for some football.
Absolutely. 53 beautiful degrees. Winds out of the south-southeast at 5 miles an hour. Gusting at 7. Really not much of a factor here tonight so far. And real quickly, let's go back downstairs with Phil Nichols in tonight's Mercy Health Report.
Guys, Mercy Health Report tonight. I got some good news. Big offensive lineman Dylan Dollar is back in the lineup. Of course, Dylan's been out for the last 3 or 4 weeks due to a concussion that he had earlier in the season. So Dylan Dollar back. Nobody else out. We're 100%. So that's the first check mark, right? We're full strength tonight.
Yep, that is a big check mark too.
Beautiful facility here, Casey. Noble Stadium, got a beautiful scoreboard to our right, beautiful press box, beautiful turf, beautiful track, beautiful internet, beautiful sound system. It's all in place here in Ardmore.
Yeah, it's an absolute first-class facility. It's a first-class organization. They do everything exactly right here, and why not? Much like the Guthrie Blue Jays throughout the years, Ardmore has had a very tradition-rich program, so they are used to doing things right here in southern Oklahoma.
Blue Jays in the silver helmets, as you see there, blue face masks. They got the white jerseys and the blue numbers and the gray pants. Ardmore decked out in the red tops, red bottoms, and those white helmets as you see on the screen.
Of course, every time you think of Ardmore, you think about those incredible early 90s teams with Raphael Denson and all the 4A state titles they won back then. They were definitely a powerhouse for a long period of time. Jermaine Gresham, some of those early 2000 teams.
Blue Jays spread across the 36-yard line. They kick it off. David Vargas with a short sky kick. It's fielded at the 27-yard line, quickly to the 30 and stuck by Troy Branson. And the Ardmore Tigers will have a 1st down and 10. Good special teams play move. And I think the Blue Jays are coming as confident as they've been all season long, Case.
Yeah, and one thing that shows the amount of respect you have for the other team's skill position and their athletic ability is when on the very first kick of the game, you sky kick it. You know, obviously trying to stay away from a big play early from one of the great athletes returning a football.
Tigers have it 1st down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Ball's on the near hash mark. First play of the ball game from scrimmage. Wishbone formation. They hand it off up the middle to the fullback, and he'll take it from the 30 to the 34-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, and we appreciate everybody watching on our YouTube feed. We're going to do the radio broadcast. We got a lot of people listening to the audio-only broadcast as well. So we will have the radio broadcast, and we got a great team here tonight. Casey Porter, Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, and Kel Evans. I'm Chris Evans. Glad to have you Friday night. Second play from scrimmage will be 2nd down and 6 from the 34-yard line. Wishbone formation. They optioned off to the running back and gets past one Blue Jay defender to the 35-40 far sideline midfield. 45-40 and pushed down in around the 35-yard line.
No doubt about it, Ardmore, an incredible amount of team speed, and you saw it. That's dive quarterback pitch, that old 1980s triple option football of the wishbone. You fake the dive, then the quarterback reads that defensive end. If the end crashes down the dive, then he keeps it. Then you can pitch off of a safety player, and Ardmore's very good at it. Coach Holloway, the old Duncan coach, coached at Washington forever, is the offensive coordinator here.
28-yard pickup for 33 running back Ross. 1st down and 10 from the Blue Jays side of things, and not much there to the 36-yard line of the Blue Jays. We'll call it 2.5-yard pickup. Turvey Williams with the previous tackle on the play.
I said Washington. I meant Wynnewood. If you remember James Allen back, about mid-90s for Wynnewood, winning state titles back then. Coach Holloway was the head coach at Wynnewood when James Allen played there, and this is the offense he ran, just the triple option. Lots of pitch football, dive quarterback pitch elements, so it's a very tough offense to stop.
2nd down and 7. They toss it to the running back. This time he tries the left side, gets to the 35, 1st down at the 30, to the 25, and pushed down at the 22-yard line. On the carry there for the Ardmore Tigers was number 18, Brendan Vance, 6'2", 201-pound senior. And it's a 1st down for the Tigers, and this is something Tigers will do all night long.
Yeah, and if you cannot guard them to the edge, if they're able to outrun you to the corner, then they're just going to run either that toss play, sweep play, and or just a pitch option play, and they're just going to outrun you all night.
14-yard pickup for the Tigers. Terrence Bibbs on the tackle. 1st down and 10. They'll hand it off to the fullback. He'll get across the 20, stumbling to the 15-yard line. A strong run there. Coming up on 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score opening drive for the Tigers. It's been an impressive one so far.
Yeah, one thing that happens when you start stretching that defense with the sweeps and the pitch options to the corner, and all of a sudden those linebackers and safeties start trying to cheat a little bit to the edge, and then you just pop that thing right up the middle to the fullback. It's an extremely difficult offense to stop because there's a lot of inside element to it. Once you crash it on the inside, then there's a lot of outside element to it.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down and 4. They'll try the fullback again. He's going to go up the middle for the touchdown. Running it in was number 40, Chance Scurry, 6', 196-pound senior, and the Tigers have a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, and we mentioned coming on the road against what we think is the 2nd-best team in 5A. You needed to come out, start with a bang, and get some early confidence, which the only way to do that is to get a lead early and play well early in the game. That drive will not do that for this Blue Jay team.
Extra points up. They got a good kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. Ardmore out to an early 7-0 lead. Timeout from Ardmore. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Your conduct is a direct reflection of you, your community, and your school. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Ardmore Tigers on the scoreboard early. They go 70 yards in just 2 minutes and 24 seconds. They do that in 6 plays. It was a 16-yard touchdown run by Scurry. That is your John Vance Motors scoring summary. And Guthrie defense got to stop that because it will be that all night long if you don't.
Well, the first thing you got to stop when you stop triple option football is you got to stop the fullback. That's the very first thing that you have to defend. So obviously if you can't get that fullback dive, that belly play stopped, it's going to be a long evening.
Ardmore kicks it off. It's fumbled at the 22, picked up inside the 20. Here's the return up to the 25, to the 30, to the 32-yard line. I believe that is Justin Adams for the Blue Jay, number 28. Talented running back. And so here comes the Blue Jay offense led by junior quarterback Jackson Waddell. And Phil, we talked about it earlier, Jackson's playing pretty good football, and we saw that read pass option last week work pretty well for him.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of that too if we can get in a flow. But yeah, definitely came on strong the last 3-4 weeks.
Jackson Waddell, shotgun formation. Gavin Bryson on his left hip pocket. Ran for over 1,000 yards this season. He gets the first call on first down, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage after a 1.5 yard pickup for the senior running back.
Now, Phil, I want you to watch this. One thing that Ardmore does, they bait you into a trap. They like to play inside the tight end to the field side, the widest side, which makes you think you can just run it wide to that side of the field. And then if you look, they have a linebacker and then a safety stacked up right behind it. So they bait you to run it there, then run it down with the safety and linebacker.
2-yard pickup, 2nd down and 8. Jackson's first throw is caught by Isaac Lewis as he gets up to the 40, close to a first down, shy by about a yard at the 41-yard line. About a 7-yard pickup for Isaac Lewis. Isaac, 7 catches last week in the win in Guyman.
Yep, big game. And what you got to do, instead of trying to run it to that hole, you got to throw it right behind that linebacker and then right in front of the safety off of a play fake. Get that linebacker to play run, get him to come up, and then throw it over the top of his head.
3rd and inches. Jackson will run for it, and he has the first down and more as he needed the 41.5-yard line, gets to the 45, so the Jays will move the chains. 1st down and 10.
This is a defense that's very athletic on the back end, very athletic up front. Their tackles are big, but they're the most athletic guys they have on the front, and they don't change a lot. They do what they do, but they're very good at it.
And Jays avoided 3 and out on the first drive. That's a positive momentum there. Gavin on 1st down 10 gets the outside boundary. He's at midfield to the 45. 1st down, pushed out of bounds.
And remember, I said they bait you into thinking that you want to run it to the widest side of the field. Coach Mick, realizing that, runs it back to the boundary where the stand-up defensive end plays. They are softer to that side. You got to be disciplined to know where to hit this defense, and the softest spot is wide back to the boundary and get numbers going back that way.
11-yard pickup for Gavin Bryson. Jays, no huddle, but not in a big hurry here. 16 on the play clock, plenty of time. 1st down and 10 from the Ardmore 44-yard line. Gavin again, left side. Cuts it up, and he'll get it to the 41-yard line. Pick up at 3 yards for Gavin Bryson. It's been Gavin, Jackson, and Isaac so far on this opening drive.
I know I sound like a broken record, Phil, but, you know, the wide run to the wide side of the field went for nothing. Last 2 runs back to the boundary. One was a counter, now just a zone, have been successful.
Blue Jays to the line of scrimmage. Rainey, halfback in motion. Again on the left side, it's Gavin Bryson across the 1st down marker, across the 35, near the 30-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 33, 32-yard line. Once again, the Jays will move the chains.
This is not a fluke. This is not anything other than Coach Mick has watched film all week, and he knows exactly where to attack this Ardmore defense. And if you look, their defensive end to that side, the boundary stands up. Their defensive end to the field is actually in a 3-point stance.
Gavin, he's been busy. Why not? He goes across the 30 to the 26-yard line. A 6-yard pickup after a hard run before that. And Phil Gavin's running hard already in this first quarter.
A good guy. Great job. Just running hard. Looks good.
Everything been on that left side, Casey.
Yeah, but that's to the short side of the field if you notice that.
2nd down and 4. Gavin? Nope. That's fumbled between Jackson and Gavin, and Ardmore jumps on it, and the Jays turn it over at the Ardmore 30-yard line.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but again, Phil, what side of the field was that thrown to or run to? It was run to the wide side, right?
Yeah.
That's right where that linebacker and safety player play, and they're able to blitz with a stack behind it and create havoc.
Yeah, and I didn't see if it was a bad exchange or the play was busted up, but regardless, that's not good. We got to play perfect football tonight.
Yeah, that's the problem with that read option football is you can either give or keep in every play, and when you're doing that, you have the ability to fumble like we saw.
Wishbone formation, toss goes to the running back, and this might be a 70-yarder. Can the Jays catch him from behind? 20, 15, 10, and they will at the 5-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle for now. Hector Gooseby on the tackle, but not after a nearly 60-some-plus yard run.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that things go for teams that are fragile, like the Guthrie Blue Jays are. You make a mistake after you start feeling good about the way you're running offense, and then your kids don't respond to it, and then next thing you know, a whole lot of speed is running about 65 yards down the field the other way, and they flip the whole thing around on you.
63 official yards for Vance, number 18, the running back. Now it's 1st down and goal. Trying to sneak in there on the right side is Ross. Does not get there, but does get to the 1-yard line, so pick up a 5 yards. 2nd down and go. Ardmore in danger of going up 13-0. Clock running here in the first quarter. 6:31, 6:30 to play.
We have seen the Blue Jays play poorly on both sides of the ball early in games. We saw it a lot early in the year, and then come back later in the game and play a lot better. But I do think it's a different animal this evening in the way that Ardmore runs their offense. If you get behind too much the way that they run it, they can kill clock. It's going to be impossible to come back.
2nd goal from the 1, handoff left side, and the Tigers are into the end zone just like that. 2 times here, and we have not made halfway point of the first quarter.
And the disappointing part of it is you've shown no resistance to stop a dive quarterback pitch type of concepted offense with the wishbone and just the fullback bellies and the option plays. That is what you set your defense up on day one to stop. And then offensively, you had a couple of good boundary runs. Then you tried to come back to the field side of it and made a mistake, and Ardmore capitalized on it.
Extra point is good. Ardmore on top, 14-0, 6:08 to play in the opening quarter. Timeout from Ardmore. You're watching Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Sports Network. You step out of the storm shelter and your home has taken a direct hit. You went online and found a policy, but you can't remember who the carrier is. Now, your roof is torn off and your belongings are scattered all over the neighborhood. Where are you going to stay tonight? How do you begin the process of cleaning up? Terra Insurance Group is Guthrie's local one-stop shop for all your insurance needs. The agents at TIG all live within this community and will be there after the sale when you need them the most. Call Terra Insurance Group at 293-4880 or stop by our offices at 2403 South Division across from the Beacon Drive-In.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Well, Casey, Tigers we knew could run the football, and that's what they've done here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and the problem with that read option that Jackson has looked so good the last couple weeks, but when you don't know whether you're going to give or keep because it's not predetermined, there's always that element that you might fumble because the running back might think that you're giving it when you think that you're keeping it, and then Ardmore's so good that they're in the backfield so fast that if you do make a mistake, they simply make you pay for it.
Tigers with the sky kick, fielded at the 31-yard line. Gugensberg on the return here, 35 to the 40, gets to the 43-yard line, push backwards.
And Blue Jays will have their second offensive trip here on the field. 5:58 play in the first quarter. Ardmore on top 14-0. Tigers go on a second 70-yard drive. This time only needed 3 plays, and it was a touchdown run of 1 yard for Brendan Vance. Of course, it was the big 62-yard run to set that up. That scoring summary brought to you by the John Vance Motor Group.
Yeah, now you have a tight end to the field side. And as you look at this, we have a timeout by the referee. Phil, if you look at how this sets up, you're going to have a defensive end.
Officials timeout.
You're going to have a defensive end that's going to line up inside the tight end, and Guthrie likes that matchup because you feel like Parker Rainey at the tight end spot can down block on that defensive end, but the problem is then you have an outside linebacker and a safety that are both going to be stacked over the top of that tight end. So how do you block those two? That's the trap that Ardmore baits you into. It makes it to the naked eye look like you should run to the wide side of the field, but then they shut it down.
Doing that, and of course Parker does a great job. You know, his blocking is without question Parker's strong suit. I mean, that's where he's done such a great job all year, but they'll figure that out. You know, Scotty, he'll figure that out here before long.
How's the energy, Phil? I know, that we talked about being fragile on the road.
Yeah.
Is it okay? I mean, is there a little panic there, or how's it going?
No, there's no panic. I think everybody's pretty calm. There's 5:58 in the first quarter. There's we go back, get on the board here. I think they feel like now. I think if we don't have some success on this drive, they come back score. Now you got to worry about losing any kind of momentum.
You got a whole team to your right full of players and only one player to your left. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, me, myself, and I.
First down and 10 for the Blue Jays. They'll go an option play on the far side. Out to midfield, leaping over one defender is Gavin Bryson as he gets to the Ardmore 45-yard line on a nice little highlight play there. And the Jays offense continues to run the football well. Just got to stop the turnovers and get into the end zone. Real quickly, 2 scoring updates. Bishop McGuinness leads Dell City 14-7, and Carl Albert leads Lawton MacArthur 20-0.
And it takes such discipline because you've been pinned on that left hash, the same hash the entire game, and it's because you're having to run back to that short side, and it just takes a lot of discipline to keep doing the same thing over and over.
15-yard pickup. Gavin gets it again over the left side, over the 40 to the 38-yard line. Made a nice cut there. Blue Jays moving the chain. Some other scores in 5A football real quickly. Bishop Kelly trails Noble 14-0. That's in Tulsa tonight. Claremore Shawnee, no score reporting. Altus with an early 7-3 lead over Lawton Eisenhower.
And whether you pull a guard and a tackle back to that left side or the H-back Parker Rainey and a guard, that is a play that they cannot stop. Anything to that left side of Guthrie's offense.
6-yard pickup for Gavin. Gets the call here. One defender in the backfield. Gavin spins away from him. Running hard tonight is Gavin as he's out of bounds near a first down marker. We think he might have it, and with that spot, he does have the first down with a 5-yard run.
And eventually what that will set up is Jackson then can pull the ball out of the belly of Gavin, which is what Guthrie was trying to do on the last possession, and then he will have a lot of room to pull back to the wide side of the field and run with.
First and 10 for the Jays. 5:10 to play in the opening quarter. Ardmore on top 14-0. And the Jays right side of the line of scrimmage jumps. It'll be an offsides on the Blue Jays. False start on the Blue Jays. We'll hear from our official.
Yeah, did you notice the safety? Parker Rainey started on the left side of the offensive line. We have a timeout.
Before the penalty, so we will go ahead and leave it here with 5:10 to play in the opening quarter. Blue Jays trail Ardmore by a score of 14-0. But, Casey, this is the second drive for the Blue Jays. They've been running the ball well. Just obviously the turnover stalled the drive out.
They tried to sneak one back to the wide side of the field on a read option play. It didn't work out for them. I don't think the Blue Jays will go back to that again. If they do, I don't think it'll be a read play. It'll just be simply Jackson pull the ball out and run. There will not be any element of read to it.
And Phil, Blue Jays have taken 11 offensive snaps for 64 yards, so they're getting almost 6 yards per play. Of course, Ardmore almost 16 yards per play on the big plays. But the Guthrie offense, they're doing what they want to do because they're going to be able to sustain drives and keep the Ardmore offense off the field.
Let me tell you something. Gavin is running like a man possessed. He's trucking people. He's hurdling people.
Like it could be his last game, right?
Like it could be his last.
Yep.
Out of the timeout, Blue Jays will have a first down and 10.
Sorry, partner.
Ball's on the far hash mark.
Watch the safety stack over the top of Parker Rainey, and he will follow him in man coverage wherever he goes.
Parker
there he goes.
In the motion from left to right. Jackson takes a snap. Jackson rolls to the right side. Wants to throw for the second time. Throws it on the run. Wide open cut. His Isaac Lewis as he gets to the 20. Breaks the tackle. Cuts it to the 15-yard line. And down at the 14-yard line. A nice toss by Jackson Waddell. Isaac Lewis and the Blue Jays have the first down after a 19-yard pickup.
So you run it to the left, which is the boundary side. You run it to the left. And then you play action that, and then you bootleg it back to the right, and you throw the ball off of the action of how you've ran it all night. This is fantastic offense from Coach Mick as we speak.
3 receivers set. Ball's at the 14 on the near hash mark. Blue Jays moving left to right. Hand off to Gavin. He tries the left side, cuts it out, gets to the 10, flirting with the 5, to the 2, corner, touchdown, Gavin Bryson. And the Blue Jays are on the scoreboard from 14 yards out.
And we talked about losing your confidence, getting down 2 scores early in a game. Coach Mick has so much experience in evaluating film, knowing how to attack a defense, knowing how to rush the football and not panic and get his team back in the game and on the scoreboard. And he is just fantastic at it. And Phil mentioned a minute ago, number 5, Gavin Bryson, what a game he's having.
Big block there on the left tackle as well. Jamal Rona, 65, led the way. The extra point is up. It's a line drive by David, and it is good. Blue Jays on the board. 4:49 to play in the first quarter. Ardmore Tigers 14, Guthrie 7. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
Sonic has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football. We're all about Guthrie and the people who live here.
The customer service philosophies with the John Vance Auto Group are keyed on fixing it right the first time. Nobody likes to have a problem with their car. If they bring it in, they want it fixed in a timely manner, and they want it fixed right the first time. And we think if we do that, that word spreads, and it has. Our service departments have a tremendous reputation.
John Vance Auto Group.
Blue Jays on the scoreboard. Gavin Bryson has been the show for the Blue Jays. He scores on a 14-yard touchdown run. Blue Jays go 58 yards in just 5 plays. Took less than a minute and a half to do it. Score now, Ardmore 14, Guthrie 7. That is your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Sky kick, Ardmore Tigers will fair catch it at the 35-yard line. They will have a first down at 10. You're looking at Gavin's numbers early, Casey. 9 carries, 70 yards, just almost 8 yards a touch.
A man possessed. It's as if he's watched film all week and realizes that if he stays disciplined to the game plan, he's going to have a huge game, and this doesn't have to be his last game in a Guthrie Blue Jay uniform. Now, you had a good offensive play, a good drive, you scored. You had a good kick. You forced them to sky kick it and fair catch it. And so now you need to complete that circuit of all 3 phases and have a good series on defense.
From the 35-yard line, first down to 10, the quarterback will keep it. He has big room, 40 midfield. Guthrie territory to the 40. 35 breaks a tackle. 25, 20, 15, and pushed out of bounds. And big play after big play for the Ardmore Tigers, who are in danger of scoring for the 3rd time on 3 tries.
And the biggest part of that is not the fact that the quarterback, number 16, and Creed Cox got the big yardage. The big part of that is that T-Row Roberts, the young man who on the 2nd play of the game last week hurt his ankle a lot, Mac, was not the one running it. So obviously they're to their backup quarterback Cox, but he is a very capable player.
J.D. Kuhnfield with the tackle, and Ardmore will jump off sides, and this will push him back 5 yards, and we'll get the official call from the game official if he wants to use his microphone here in just a little bit.
Got a dead ball, false start. Ardmore, still first.
Penalties against a team that likes to run the ball and typically go in smaller chunks with their fullback dives and some quarterback ducks. Getting behind the chains is a big deal to them.
Back to the 19-yard line. First down and 15. Tigers need the 4-yard line for the first down. Quarterback rolls out, wants to throw it, cuts up instead. Stuck at the 19. Moves the pile to the 18-yard line is Creed Cox, the backup quarterback for the Tigers. And it's a pretty good backup quarterback for the Tigers as Branson's in on the tackle.
Cox has played a lot of football this year. We say backup because Roberts is their starter, but Creed Cox has played a lot of football this year and has played a lot of football and a lot of winning football and led this Ardmore team to a bunch of wins, 8-2 on the season. He's played a lot.
Second down and 14. Ardmore has not seen a third down yet. We'll see if they get here. Hand off to the running back left side, and they will indeed see their first third down play after a 1-yard pickup from the 18 to the 17-yard line. So it'll be about a third down. We'll call it 13. The Tigers need the 4-yard line. It's 3:40, 3:39 rolling here in the first quarter. Ardmore 14, Guthrie 7.
And just watching their kicker in pregame, they're definitely in field goal range as we speak. So you wouldn't think they'd get a whole too heck of a lot of sexiness into this third down call. I think they just hand this thing off, maybe try to run wide, make the field goal a little bit more accessible, and or put it in the part of the field that the field goal kicker feels more comfortable with.
Tigers have yet to attempt a pass, and we have whistles, and the Tigers took a timeout before the snap.
Timeout, Ardmore, timeout.
That is their second timeout. We'll go ahead and leave it here with 3:14 to play in the first quarter. Coming to you here on the Blue Jays Sports Network, Carter County, Ardmore, Oklahoma, alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Kel Evans, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Glad to have you on board here tonight on the YouTube feed. Hopefully you found us through the Facebook apps and pages and all that good stuff. And it was back and forth, but we made it on the air. We're glad you're watching because we pay good money to bring this football game to you. The OSS, so we're writing a little check to the OSSAA to be here to broadcast this game. So we invite you to share this feed to let everybody know so we get our money's worth. And we are, all joking aside, we do appreciate you tuning in us here tonight.
And we certainly appreciate, as you said, everybody who's tuning this in. We appreciate everybody who's made the trek down about a couple of hours down I-35 and have made the trip to support the kids live. And this is a wonderful first-class facility. This community puts on a first-class show. They have a first-class team. And needless to say, the Blue Jays have a big chore on their hands this evening.
Yeah,
not impossible, obviously. Guthrie's shown that they're going to be able to score on this Ardmore team. Question is going to be, can you get adjusted to that triple option offense?
Ball is placed at the 17-yard line. It's third down and 13. This is the first time the Tigers have faced a third down. They need the 4-yard line. One receiver. He won't be too busy tonight. And the flag thrown.
And this is what that penalty on first down did to him after the big run. They get a big penalty on first down, puts them at 1st and 15, and it just
started the call against the Tigers.
The snap. Tigers still
makes everything very difficult. And now, shoot, you're looking at a 37-yard field goal. Now, they would have a slight breeze behind their back. When they did kick it, they do have a kicker that can get it there, but this would be a lot to ask a high school kicker.
Ball marked at the 22-yard line. Third down and officially 18 yards. Tigers will little toss it left side. Gets the edge at the 25, 20, 15. Breaks the tackle to the 10. Down at the 8-yard line. 4 yards shy of the first down. We'll see what the Tigers want to do here, who have ran the ball well the entire first quarter. Or they want to bring on their talented field goal kicker.
This will tell you how much they trust their defense or don't trust it. If you trust your defense, you go for it. You feel like you can get it the way that you can run the ball. And even if you don't get it, you put your defense on the field, play the field position game. If you don't trust your defense, you kick the field goal, you go up 2 scores, and you try to stay that 2-score lead away from the Blue Jays. It looks like at least Ardmore's appearing to go for it here on 4th down.
14-yard pickup makes it 4th down and 4. Tigers need the 4. 2-back set. And whistles again. Is this another timeout?
Yep.
It is. Ardmore's out of timeouts with 2:18 to play in the first quarter. Not sure I've ever seen that since
I remember a couple of Sooner teams had a hard time with that a couple of years ago with the play clock, but Ardmore spends all 3 timeouts.
Well, the first thing that happened to them was they had to decide whether they want to go for it or kick it. And then the next thing, once you figure out that you want to go for it, do we want to run it or pass it? Then when you nail that down, how do we want to run it? So there was a lot to think about there.
Or do we try to draw them off sides?
Yes, which would only be half the distance to the goal, which would put it at about the 4.5, which would be very close to a first down, but I don't think they would have it. I still think they'd be a yard and a half shy.
Yeah, it would definitely be close. Again, 14-7, Ardmore has scored on their first 2 drives of this contest on 2 70-yard drives. Blue Jays moved the ball well in their first possession, fumbled it at the 30, got the ball back second time, went down the field and got on the scoreboard. Gavin Bryson and the Ardmore Tigers do show they will go for it here on 4th down and 4.
Keep in mind, Ardmore has not shown the ability to stop Guthrie's rushing attack, so this is very risky for them not to try to go up 2 scores.
Ball's on the near hash mark. Quarterback under center. He turns around. He wants to run with it to double E, trying to get there, and he will get there into the end zone. Blue Jays had a couple chances there to Casey to stop it.
We've seen that quarterback duck too many times in our life, haven't we? It's such a tough play because you have to play that belly play with the fullback, and then once the linebackers fit up on him, you're relying on a defensive end and or a safety to try to stop a big physical quarterback that has a lead blocker in front of him. And even though it looks like you're in position, he's a more physical runner than you have coming downhill to tackle him. Next thing you know, he rumbles into the end zone.
Tigers on for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. Not sure we call him the backup quarterback anymore.
Nope.
He's into the end zone. Ardmore has a 21-7 lead over the Jays. 2:10 play first quarter. Timeout from Ardmore. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Creed Cox in the end zone for the Ardmore Tigers from 8 yards out. Blue Jays with 2 chances to bring him down before the goal line. Can't do it. Ardmore goes on a 65-yard drive. Only took him 5 plays, 2 minutes and 39 seconds. New score, Ardmore 21, Guthrie 7. Now 2:10 to play in the first quarter. That is your John Vance Motors scoring summary. Tigers kick this one deep, and it goes into the back of the end zone. It'll be first down and 10 for the Blue Jays.
And much like last possession, you're down 2 scores again. You're facing it deep in your own end zone, and you need to respond offensively. I mean, that's simple put, is that you're just going to have to continue to match scoring Ardmore until your defense can figure out how to stop this triple option attack.
Well, here comes the Guthrie offense. They've been pretty good running the football all night. This will be the worst field position of the night at their own 20-yard line. Blue Jays have ran 13 offensive plays for 97 yards, 71 on the ground, 26 through the air. Jackson Waddell, while handing off to Gavin, cuts it up, gets to the line of scrimmage, pushes the feet up to the 22. Just a 2-yard pickup before he's driven backwards. Bring up second down and 8.
And the game's going to be, what does Ardmore do with their stacked safety? Do they keep rolling him to the field, to the multi-receiver side over Parker Rainey and the tight end? Or since Guthrie's running it back to the short side of the field, do they roll him back over that way to make up for their deficiencies on that side of the field?
Second down 8, 3 receiver set for the Jays, and we have a flag, and I think the defensive end for the Tigers on the left side jumped off sides. We'll get the official sign. There it is. Scoring updates at halftime in Tulsa. Noble leads Bishop Kelly 21-0.
got dead ball, encroachment. Ardmore, 5-yard penalty, still first.
I'm sorry.
I bring up that Noble Bishop Kelly score because the winner of that game plays the winner of this game. Second down and 3 after the penalty. Jays look at the sideline. The Jays need the 30-yard line for the first down.
You see both safeties, 18, and then the one on the slot on Isaac are both to the field side of this. That's why you run back away from them.
Gavin, first down and more across the first down marker at the 30. Moves the pile all the way out of bounds to the, what we'll call it, the 34-yard line. So Gavin almost close to 100 yards here in the first quarter alone. 7-yard pickup.
Guthrie's running that tight end to this near side, the wide side of the field, and then 2 receivers, which means both safeties and a corner are rolled this way, and you have no safety presence back to the other side of the field. And because of that, you hit that seam right outside that linebacker, and they have no presence there.
Jackson, lead play.
Yeah.
And it's going backwards, and we talked about that play earlier, Casey, on the right side. There's a flag that could be a face mask on the Tigers. And Phil, you're right down there. What was that?
Yeah, I believe it was a face mask.
Sure did look like it. There was no blockers in front of Jackson, so it would almost have to be a face mask.
And again, too, it's hard to stay disciplined. Hard to stay disciplined.
So Jays get a little bit
5-yard
benefit.
face mask. Tigers, first down. Still
hard to stay disciplined, but again, that wide side of the field run is just simply not there. It just isn't, and luckily got the face mask on that play.
6-8-2 score. Bixby leads Stillwater 28-7. 3 receivers set for the Jays. Rainey in the motion on the left side. Jackson rolls to the left side. Wants to throw it. He's 2 for 2. Goes downfield. Isaac Lewis one-on-one, and it's incomplete at the 22-yard line. Excuse me, that's Gabe Gonzalez, the intended receiver. It's incomplete.
The game for Ardmore defensively is going to be number 3 as you see him jog back. That safety.
Jaquan Anderson.
The question is going to be, do they keep him where they've been playing him to the wide side of the field, or do they roll him back and gamble and put him back on the other side?
Nothing wrong with that on a first down play.
Guthrie, still down.
Flag for illegal.
You got to put flag for an ineligible receiver. If you're going to go deep against a team like Ardmore that can really hunt your quarterback down, it's got to be on early downs.
Yeah.
And the reason is they don't blitz on those downs. And they're thinking run, so they're not really even in pass rush mode. So that gives your quarterback enough time to get the ball off.
Penalty moves it back to the 30-yard line. Second down and 13. Jackson wants to throw. Does caught by, I believe that's Isaac Lewis, at about the 38-yard line. We'll see where the spot is, and that'll make it a very manageable play upcoming. And that was first down, so this will be second down upcoming.
What the penalty did is it did give you the down over, so now you have 2 more downs to get that 7 yards. So good play. And again, you're pinned on that left hash again. It seems like you've been there all night.
Midwest City leads Sand Springs 34-0. Second down and 6 for the Blue Jays. 3 receivers to the near side. Ball's on the far hash mark, and now Jackson looks at the sideline for the play. 15 seconds on the play clock.
This formation has been that counter play where right tackle, right guard has pulled back to the left and let Gavin get himself up to that left boundary and get good yardage.
That's the end of the quarter. It was an offensive quarter for the Ardmore Tigers, and they'll go into the second quarter with a 21-7 lead. We'll take a timeout here in Ardmore. You're watching playoff football on the Blue Jays Sports Network.
These tenders have always been my number 1. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
Phil Nichols, Craig Flett, Casey Porter, Cale Evans. I'm Chris Evans. We get set for second quarter action. 21-7 Ardmore in the lead. Second down and 6 for the Blue Jays. Jackson surveys, throws it downfield, looking for Isaac Lewis, and overshoots him by 10 yards, incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 6. Blue Jays now with the wind behind their back here in the second quarter.
And you got to throw it deep, at least occasionally, even if you don't complete it, because guess what that does, partner? That takes those safeties and it stretches them backwards to where now when you run those plays that Gavin's had success at, instead of being 4 or 5 yards, now they might be 10 or 11.
Ball's on the near hash mark. The Blue Jays need the 43. Jackson will try to throw for it. Rolls out, throws it on the run, has a man wide open, and he drops it at the 28-yard line. It was there. Great play call, great route, great throw. Just could not bring in the catch was Gabe Gonzalez.
3 deep shots, 2 were from the pocket on early downs, and then 1 was on a roll to the right. Jackson be a right-handed quarterback. That's easier for him. And then the wheel route from Gabe Gonzalez. Has anybody ever been able to cover a wheel route ever in football? It's the most uncoverable route I've ever seen, and if the quarterback has time to get it off, it's usually successful.
You kind of get the feeling, Casey, those are the type of plays that Guthrie has to execute
Yeah,
tonight.
you can't miss them. Yeah, you can't miss them. Every time you have a chance, you got to make the play, no doubt.
David Vargas in punt formation back at his own 25-yard line. 7 seconds on the play clock. Good snap to David. Kel Kaufman with a snapping duties. It's a great punt. It'll bounce at the 20, take a Blue Jay bounce. Can they get there in time? Looks like they will. Inside the 5-yard line, close to the 3-yard line. A big play, Phil Nichols, as the Blue Jays don't get any points on the board, but they split the field.
I mean, you know, if you like 60-yard punts, yeah, that was pretty good. That was perfect. So, yeah, those are the kind of things. It sounds weird saying a punt can give you some momentum, but it can. You know, big time play, and we need this right now. Got to get a stop here.
And so now, Casey, the Blue Jays have got to find a way to stop that running game of Ardmore. You might be able to contain it, but you got to stop it.
And it always starts inside out. The first thing you got to do is stop that quarterback dive, or excuse me, that fullback dive, and then that quarterback duck play.
Officially 59-yard punt, but no return. First down and 10 from the 3-yard line. Tigers will try the right side and across the 5 up to the 10-yard line. A pickup of 7, or excuse me, about, we'll call it 4 or 5 yards, maybe 6. Ross on the carry for the
This
Tigers.
Drive for Ardmore with a 2-score lead does not become about scoring. This drive is all about getting 2, maybe 3 first downs, reestablish at least some field position, take time off the clock, and by the time, if you do have to give it back to Guthrie, you take a lot of time off the clock and flip the field position.
Second down play, Blue Jays stop this one. David Scott with a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And so here we go. Tigers will have a third down play upcoming. See if the Jays can get the Tiger offense, who's ran the ball 215 yards on just 15 offensive snaps.
Remember, last possession, Ardmore had a 3rd down and 12, and they ran a reverse, and they got about 7, I think it was like a 3rd down and 20, excuse me, and they got about 12 yards and set up the 4th down play that the quarterback Cox scored on. See if they come up with some kind of misdirection on this, the 3rd and long.
Tigers are 0 for 2 on 3rd down tries, and they'll try it here, and they're going to get stopped again. Blue Jay defense stops here, and they lost a yard, did the Tigers. And now the Tigers are 0 and 3 on 3rd down tries, and now the Tigers are going to have to punt from their own end zone. Remember, they all got started with a 59-yard punt by David Vargas.
It sure did, and then you talk about all the phases, Phil mentioned it, getting momentum. What that's called is completing a circuit. All phases have to work off of each other. Your punt team gave your defense some energy. Your defense went out with that energy, got a 3 and out. Now your offense, that's played well all night, needs to feed off of that and go score.
From the end zone, it's a low line drive punt, bounces at the 35. Across the 40, Isaac Lewis will dance away from that, and the Jays will have their best field position of the night at the Ardmore 43-yard line. 9 minutes and 38 seconds to play until the Golden Chick halftime show. Ardmore Tigers have led the entire way and currently lead by a score of 21-7.
You took 3 deep shots last possession. You did not complete them, but you got to figure that stretched that Ardmore defense enough to where you can go back to that rushing game that has been very good this evening.
Getting some great camera view tonight. Kel Evans, best 7th grade filmer we've had in the history of Blue Jays Sports Network.
He's the second best video coordinator we've ever had, right?
3 receiver set, option play. Jackson cuts up and loses back to the 48-yard line. And Ardmore had Jackson covered, and they had the pitch man covered.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's something that they see every day in practice, right? So they're going to be good at stopping any kind of speed package to a wide side of the field that has a pitch element to it. They're going to be pretty good at it because they see that every day in practice.
Every day. 4-yard loss, 2nd down and 14. Guthrie needs a 33-yard line. Man in motion right to left is Gonzalez. Jackson, couple steps, throws it, caught by Gonzalez at 45, gets to the 40, to the 39-yard line. So the Jays will have a third down, a short distance third down try upcoming. Blue Jays on the night on third down tries are 1 for 2.
Well, that sprint pass is an effective play because in essence it's just a little flood pass to the flats. You have a little slot on either a safety, usually an outside linebacker. That's an advantage to the offense. They can't stop it. The defense can't if you throw it and catch it.
3rd down and 6 for the Blue Jays. 3 receivers set, all 3 to the far side. Brody Hinkle in the slot. Gavin Bryson will be on the left side of Jackson Waddell in this upcoming snap.
See, 16 and 3, both rolled and stacked to the wide side of the field. That's why Guthrie has not been able to run that way this evening.
Here we go. And did the Guthrie call timeout, or was there a delay of game? Guthrie just in time gets the timeout before the delay of game call.
They did, and it's big. You need to use, of course, Ardmore's already used all 3 of their timeouts, but they did it en route to scoring. So that's okay if you do that. If you know, in the first half, they're not nearly as valuable. Timeouts are always valuable, but in the first half, not nearly as valuable as a second half setting, and especially if you use them wisely en route to scoring.
Some 5A scoring updates while we got a break in the action. At halftime, Noble leads Bishop Kelly 21-0. Claremore and Shawnee in the second quarter tied 7-7. Altus at home trails Lawton Eisenhower at halftime 10-7. At Bishop McGinnis tonight, Del City trails to the Irish at halftime 14-7. Carl Everett at halftime leads Lawton MacArthur 27-15. Skytook leads Glenpool 24-0. Tahlequah leads Coweta 13-7. And, of course, the game here, Ardmore leads the Blue Jays 21-7. Guthrie will have it at the Ardmore 39-yard line. 3rd down and 6, more than likely 4-down territory for the Blue Jays. 8:03 to play until halftime. 3 receivers set to the far side. Jackson will take the snap. And wide open cut Isaac Lewis, but the play clock was never put in the motion. Jackson took the snap with 25 seconds. But I think I heard the referee blow the whistle and play. That should not have been a matter. Isaac was wide open. Now you got to reset a new play.
You look there in man-to-man coverage to the top of this formation, and number 6, the inside safety, who's on the slot, Brody Hinkle, is a good 8 to 10 to 12 yards off of Brody. So you just turn around, throw him a little quick, and then see if Brody can run upfield faster than the safety can drive on it and get the first down. Look how far off their safety is, a number 3 receiver here.
Tough break for the Jays. 3rd down and 6. Jackson will throw it over the head of Brody Hinkle, and Guthrie had a perfect play drawn up to get the first down. The referee had to blow the clock because the play clock was not in the motion, and now Guthrie will have to go for it on 4th down and 6. Just a tough break for the Jays.
Yeah, and again, they had it set up again. I think if Jackson, when he evaluates film, will just swing that one out to Brody next time and see if Hinkle can get you 6 or 7. The goal is to get it to be about a 4th or 1 or 2 instead of what it is now at a 4th and 7.
Jays converted their only 4th down try earlier. 4th down and 6.
It's amazing to me how far off they're playing off slots.
Jackson to the near side. Fastball cut. Inbounds. 1st down Blue Jays. A big catch by Guggesberg inside the 30-yard line, and the drive continues. Guthrie now 2 of 2 on 4th down tries, and Phil, that was a great catch.
Absolutely great catch. That kid, he's been doing it all year. He just gets a little bit better. Has a big-time catch.
For Cade Guggesberg, only a sophomore. Good player.
Jackson threw that one a little bit hard because he was so wide open and needed that first down. 1st and 10 for the Jays, and little ride play. Gavin hit for a loss back at the 35-yard line. They'll mark him at the 34 so it's a 4-yard loss officially. 2nd down and 14. Clock continues to roll. 7:40, 7:39 to play here until halftime. Ardmore on top of Guthrie, 21-7.
Well, they are just simply too fast to try to outrun to the edge, aren't they? Anytime that you start running, which in this case would be east, but east and west, most football fields go north and south. When you try to outrun them east and west, usually doesn't work out very well because they are very, very fast.
Gavin Bryson, 12 carries for 74 yards after the 4-yard loss. 2nd and 14, 4 receivers in this formation. Jackson has time, goes near side looking for Brody Hinkle and overshoots him by a couple of yards, incomplete. And bring up 3rd down and 14, obviously 4-down territory here. We're down 2 touchdowns.
Right in front of you, Phil. We mentioned it last possession. You threw it deep 3 times. Didn't complete them, but what we did say is that was going to stretch the safeties for Ardmore, and we've seen on this possession how far off they're playing off those slot receivers.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's definitely made them lay back, so we'll see what happens here. I think might see something interesting on this 3rd down right here.
4 receivers in this formation, 2 to each side on 3rd down and 14. Now Isaac Lewis in motion from right to left. Jackson takes the snap, has time, screen, and it's going to be intercepted at the 30, 40, midfield, 40. Only Jackson Waddell can stop him. 20, 15, cuts it at the 10, 5, touchdown, Ardmore. 70-yard interception return for the Tigers.
Well, you got coming into this game, you mentioned it in the Esker Chevrolet keys of the game, you had to play perfect, and then to have a fumble on your first possession that led to a touchdown and now a pick 6. You have taken a situation, I say this all the time for underdog teams, taken a situation that was difficult to begin with, and now you're starting to make it almost impossible.
2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns. 6:52 until halftime. Tigers trying to make it a 28-7 ball game. Snap, hold, kick. Good, and good. 6:52 until halftime. Ardmore 28, Guthrie 7. Timeout from Ardmore, Oklahoma. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Blue Jays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Ardmore's Tigers take advantage of a second turnover by the Blue Jays. This one a 70-yard interception return. Number 18, Braden Vance with the return. 28-7 is your new score. That is your John Vance Motor scoring summary, our first defensive touchdown of the night.
You remember we talked about how when you're pinned on the same hash the whole night, it's so hard just to stay disciplined to 1 or 2 plays that are working, and then you want to run all these other screens and all that. You can't do it because Ardmore's simply too athletic, and we've seen that so far.
Tigers again kick this one deep. Isaac Lewis retreats back, fills it at the 5-yard line on the far side, outside the numbers to the 10, 20, 25, across the 30, and finally brought down at the 34-yard line. First down and 10, Blue Jays.
Phil, you're on the sideline right now as we speak, and I know it's going sideways, 28-7. Obviously, the game's not over. But the seniors on this team, in my opinion, Gavin Bryce and Isaac Lewis, those guys, they're playing really hard, aren't they?
Playing so hard. Gavin came off the field, after that unfortunate turnover last time. I said, hey, just keep playing. He said, yes, sir. I mean, you're hitting it right on the head. These seniors are playing their hearts out. You don't think about it till you're faced with this could be the last time, and then it gets pretty real pretty quick.
Officials timeout.
We've all been there where, I know you've been there, Phil, where the thoughts start creeping in like, well, you know what, I might only have 2.5 quarters. They just start, this is about the time where they start creeping into your mind, don't they?
Well, I can tell you this, and if this just gives you a great example that what we're talking about. Since I played my last high school football game at home, I have not been back to a high school football game. Not because I don't want to, I can't. It just completely I just can't do it.
Yep.
And so it's reality. It's reality. So of course, we got a lot of football left here, and hopefully go down and get a score, get within 2 touchdowns, and see what happens.
Some scoring updates in Class A football. Cashin at home leads Woodland at halftime 21-6. Also at home, undefeated and top-ranked Crescent Tigers. In the second quarter, lead Porter consolidated by a score of
Peach Pickers, huh?
48-0. I was trying to think of a Porter joke. But I couldn't come up with one fast enough.
Well, have you ever been to Porter to pick peaches before?
I have. No.
It's an outstanding event. You need to go do it sometime.
Resume action. First down and 10 for the Blue Jays from the 34-yard line. Rainey in the motions. The halfback. Hand off to Gavin. Started left, goes right, goes across the 35, up to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards for Gavin Bryson. Again, Gavin now with 10 carries on the night as he now has, we'll get to my rushing numbers here now, 80 yards of the night.
There's a Porter, Oklahoma, and there's also a Retrop, Oklahoma, which is Porter backwards. My son's name is Tyler Allen Porter, and one summer went to Tyler, Texas, Allen, Texas, and then Porter, Oklahoma, all on the same trip.
Portered out.
Yes.
Second down and 5. Gavin, number 5, runs on the right side, and not much there.
I think that was Jackson.
That was Jackson, excuse me. Gavin was lead blocking. And now it's third down play. I call Gavin because I like to see Gavin run. And now Jays will have a third down and 5 play.
Go back to what's worked, and that was that counter play back to the short side. It's been left all game because you've been pinned on that same hash, but you're going the other way in the first quarter. Now it's coming back to the right hash here in the second quarter.
Jackson wants to throw for it. He throws it, confident, and it's incomplete in Tigers territory. And Gabe thought he was hit afterwards, and Brody was kind of streaking wide open.
And Isaac Lewis underneath was absolutely wide open for the first down. And what happens is when you start getting down by multiple scores like Guthrie has done here in the last couple of minutes, instead of taking those check downs and being patient and trying to play the game in a phone booth from that perspective, you start getting a little bit impatient, and instead of hitting the check downs, you try to hit everything big on every play.
5:34 to play in the second quarter. David Vargas to punt for the second time tonight, back at his 26-yard line. It's a good snap. Another high punt for David Vargas. Fair catch called for and retrieved at the 24-yard line. So here come the Ardmore Tigers, who have only been stopped once offensively here tonight. Have a 28-7 lead. Appreciate everybody listening to our audio-only broadcast. And if you don't watch the video of this broadcast, it's on our YouTube page. Just go to youtube.com/Guthrie News.
Yeah, or the myriad of ways that you can find a link somewhere to find us, right? There's several of them out there.
Twitter, Facebook. Yes. You can also go to GuthrieNewsPage.com, go to the live feed at the top. There was a flag, and they're going to wave that one off as our camera operator, Kel Evans, proudly shows you there.
The good news is last time Ardmore had the ball, you stopped them. The bad news is they have scored a touchdown since then on the pick 6, but you did seem like you got a bead. On the time before they scored offensively, you had them, other than the one big play, you had them on a couple of big fourth downs. You just couldn't get them stopped, but you showed signs of getting that triple option shut down.
Handoff left side from the 24 up to the 27-yard line. Small pickup there. Ardmore Tigers with their 18th offensive snap of this ball game. Now has 221 yards. All those on the ground. They've yet to attempt a pass, which is not surprising at all.
They've attempted a pass, but then Cox decided to go ahead and pull it down and run it. At least they called a pass in the huddle. But this is where they even more so take the air of the ball. They run the play clock underneath 5 seconds just about every time, and they just kill clock.
Cade Whitfield on the tackle, brings up second down and 6. Run just simply up the middle, nothing fancy but effective across the 35-yard line. It's a first down for the Tigers. Clock stops until the chains can be set at 4:49.
You know, we played at Enid earlier this year, and obviously he's on their wall of fame. Remember, he was the one that was, when it got dark, they actually had a light car. And watching that fullback carry that ball in triple option offense, it just seems like it's back in 1981, and I'm watching Lydell Carr playing the wishbone at fullback. That's just how effective Ardmore is with it.
8-yard pickup, tackle by Kel Kaufman, sets up our first down play, and the Tigers only get 1 yard from the 36 to the 37, so it brings up a second down and 9 play. Clock continues to roll, 4:13 here until halftime.
That A in the middle of the field, of course, this is field turf. Beautiful. It's that Alabama/Arkansas A, and very well designed. The field has a 5 yard that's light, and then 5 yards that's dark, kind of as if it was mowed with a real mower. It has that effect to it.
Looks like the Alabama A.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said Arkansas. My bad.
Both, yes.
35, 40, 45 flag down at midfield.
This is a double bonus for us. Penalty on Ardmore, and we get to hear our referee mic all in one, right?
Puts it in his upper pocket.
Yes, he does.
Usually put it on the belt clip.
Fine with us. Better reception, right?
This one's going against the Tigers, if you can read sign language. It's a hold against Ardmore.
Well, hopefully you won't have to read sign language here in a minute. Hopefully he'll turn the mic on and give us a call verbally. After Guthrie accepts it, obviously you would after the big run. There's no debating that.
This is the 5th penalty on the Tigers. Guthrie, 1 penalty on the night. Stat below, that's not good though. 2 turnovers for the Blue Jays.
Holding on Ardmore. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
And if you remember, it was a gigantic penalty on the touchdown drive that got them so far behind the chains that it got them in a 3rd and 20. They were eventually able to overcome it with the reverse on 3rd and 20 in the big 4th down run by the quarterback Cox. But penalties have been a problem for the Ardmore offense, but the problem to that is Guthrie has not been able to get them off the field on the 3rd down and longs that they put them in.
Second down and 21, wishbone formation. They hand it off on the left side across the 30 to the 30. No, we'll call it the 31-yard line, and so we'll see what Ardmore does here on 3rd down. Could we see the first forward pass play of the night for Ardmore?
Nope.
Nope.
You're going to see a quarterback duck more than likely. I would think maybe a toss, or if they have a trick play in the run category. They've already run a reverse on a 3rd and long. They don't have any timeouts, so they can't call one. But with a 3-score lead, I do not think you'll see him throw the ball.
7-yard pickup, tackle by Kel Kaufman. Phil?
Yes, sir.
If they pass it, you going to send us to dinner tonight?
My mic was cutting out there.
Okay.
I didn't, yeah.
3rd down, 15, and yeah.
The opposite of passing it.
Wow. Fullback up the middle.
That is the antithesis to passing the ball. I thought at least they'd pull it out of the belly of the fullback and run the quarterback duck, but I did not think they would throw it. And with a 3-score lead, 2:38 to go first half, absolutely no reason to take any chances.
Take a little chance.
No.
I mean, you're feeling pretty good. Toss it to the far side and let those guys who've run for a couple hundred yards already. Low snap. Pounder does a good job of fielding that one. Line drive. Isaac Lewis dangerously now fumbles it. And the ball's still loose. And Ardmore has it at the 40-yard line. Simply a dangerous play there by Isaac. And Guthrie has their 3rd turnover tonight.
And when you have a lead, what happens is it always seems like the team that's chasing makes the most amount of mistakes because they're having to take the most amount of chances. When you're playing with a multiple score lead, you can do things like hand the ball to the fullback on 3rd and 15 and get away with it because you have the lead. And that reduces your ability to make a mistake or your chances to make a mistake because you're playing it more conservative.
So your defense is right back on the field with 2:16 until halftime.
This would be where they throw it.
28-7. Quarterback run on the right side, the short side, and a few yard pickup to the 36-yard line, 4.5-yard pickup.
That was the quarterback duck that I thought we were going to see on 3rd and 15. That's about as sexy as they get, right? They'll run a couple of misdirection plays, maybe a counter, a trap, power play. A counter play is a trick play to this offense, right?
Yeah.
It's effective, though, isn't it?
It is. 142, 141 to halftime. Wishbone formation. Fullback leads the way for the option. Nope. Going to be a quarterback keeper. Nice job of Blue Jay defense to get in there. Cox on a short pickup. Actually, no pickup.
Here's the problem with running option football out of the wishbone right now. If you're Ardmore, Guthrie knows that you're not going to pitch the ball. You're not going to take that chance with a 3-score lead. So as soon as that quarterback rolls out, the entire defense just keys in on him, right?
Yep.
And Cox was not able to get any yards. So triple option football should not work at this point.
3rd down and 6. All 11 Blue Jay defenders in the box. Handoff fullback up the middle. Big play. 30, 25, 23. Down at the 22. Kel Kaufman on the tackle, but not before Chance Scurry moves the chains, and Ardmore in danger of scoring with less than a minute.
Hey, haven't asked you yet, Phil. On the hoof, of course, Carl Albert has the best top-end players with Bo Taylors, Diego Roberts. But on the hoof, we'll get to that after this play.
Tigers 1st down and 10, 54 seconds. The ball's at the, call it the 23. Fullback up the middle. Not much there. We'll get to that point. Scannell with the tackle.
But take away the top-end players for Carl Albert. Is Ardmore a more impressive, physically-looking team than Carl Albert?
Yeah, I believe they are. We talked about coming down. You told me you thought they were, and I think you're definitely right, Casey. On the hoof, they look better. You take those top 2 or 3, really, you can leave them in on the hoof. Yeah. I mean, they're a good-looking team.
24, 23 seconds until halftime. Tigers looking to throw. Go downfield, end zone. One-handed catch is hauled in at the 1-yard line. A highlight of a catch, 16 seconds. Remember, Ardmore's out of timeouts.
They certainly are, so they have to clock the ball. They cannot run a play here. I think they have to clock it, get to 2nd down.
Chains, the game clock just now put into motion. 14 seconds, 13 seconds. Tigers will spike it to stop the clock. 12 seconds.
You have 1 play left. If you stop it, Ardmore's not going to score. That's if they don't kick a field goal. I would kick the field goal here because that would give you the 4-score lead at 24 points, and you have a field goal kicker that would make it. And if you don't get this 1st down, then you're not going to score because you don't have any timeouts. So I would kick this ball.
Give big credit to McGee with that one-handed catch at the 1-yard line. I'm sure give him credit because that was a great catch. So we'll see what here. If they go for it, Casey, I think they're just going to run and take a chance. 3rd down and 1, quarterback in there easily. Touchdown Tigers. Yeah, 7 seconds on the play clock. It was do or die for them on that play, and it's a do.
Yep, and when you have a 3-score lead, you can do things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I would have taken the 4-score lead and taken the points with the field goal and gone up 24 points before half. But Ardmore gambled. They rolled the dice, and it came up heads for them. So
34-7.
You reckon 08's slipping into their mind any right now and thinking, hey, you know what? We've taken some
it's blocked.
downs.
It's blocked. Guggesberg with the block. And we'll go ahead and keep it here for the final 7 seconds.
So that's why they should have kicked the field goal, right?
Yeah. That was 9 years. What was that? 9 years ago. These kids would have been 7 or 8.
But is there any adults around here, coaching-wise, administration-wise, that's chewed on that any this week, maybe?
I think that was a long time ago. Surely not. I don't remember the score. I know Guthrie won, but
a lot of the same coaches for Guthrie are still here.
Yeah, I think it's far from their mind.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think a lot of MacArthur's more on their mind from last week.
Yes.
And of course, it's a one thing. You know, Guthrie enters this ballgame, Casey, 5-5, and you know, not as talented as years past. That's that's being pretty obvious there. But when Guthrie, or, you know, there's been some Carl Albert teams that were sub-500 teams.
Yeah.
It's just you don't want to see these type of programs on your field in the first round of the playoff
When
games.
you're a number 1, you don't want to see Lawton Mack or Guthrie on your schedule for the first round of the playoffs. That's the last thing you want to see. There's no doubt about that.
Be sure to stay tuned. Golden Chick halftime show comes up after this. We'll have scores from the state of Oklahoma in the first round of the playoffs. Stats of the first half as well. Get set for second half action.
There is some drama as far as what might happen in the second half.
We'll get to that after the sky kick and some scores from around the state. I think the Tigers wouldn't kick this one very deep, and Guthrie bring this one in, take one snap, and get into the locker room down 34-7. There's the sky kick. It'll be fielded by Adams. He fumbles the football. Guthrie already has several turnovers. A pile at the 41-yard line. 2 seconds on the clock. Guthrie with 3 turnovers. All 3 turnovers have led to Ardmore points, and Guthrie recovers the fumble. By the way, the Ardmore Tigers, after the 3rd turnover by the Blue Jays, go 40 yards on 7 plays. It was a touchdown run by the quarterback, Creed Cox. By the way, Creed Cox, 5'9", 176, sophomore.
Not a bad second string. Well, they've got some safeties deep on this play, don't they?
They're back at the 30, so that puts them 30 yards off the football.
We've seen this before. If you throw the ball, Ardmore's more likely to score on this play than Guthrie would be.
Yeah. Now they back up 5-10 more yards. 3 receivers. See if Jay's just handed off to Gavin, and they'll just take a knee back at the 37-yard line. The first half is in the books.
Mercifully.
Blue Jays
That's a good Ardmore team.
Yeah, Blue Jays look good offensively at times, but turnovers and running game of Ardmore is the story of this first half. We'll take a timeout. We'll get set for the Golden Chick halftime show. Again, halftime score here in Ardmore, Oklahoma. The Ardmore Tigers 34, Guthrie 7. You're watching Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a link to listen to the Blue Jays streaming live over the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
This is Craig Flex. Stay tuned after the break when Phil Nichols will join me for first half stats and more on the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
Sonic has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back. Ardmore, Oklahoma here in Carter County. We're about 30 miles away from the Texas line. Blue Jays in the locker room down big to what Phil and I have been calling, and Casey I think as well, the number 2 team in Class 5A football all season long. Of course, Carl Albert undefeated, and they're having their way here in the first round of the playoffs. We'll get to some scores here in a little bit, but we think Ardmore is number 2 in Oklahoma, and they look like it so far as they have a 34-7 lead. Alongside my game time partners, Kel Evans controlling the video camera, Phil Nichols down on the sideline, Craig Fleck with all the stats and numbers, and talking in my ear, giving me some good information to pass along with you. Casey Porter to my right, I'm Chris Evans. Welcome here on a Friday night Blue Jay Sports Network. Not on 93.7 FM tonight due to OSU basketball as they tip off their basketball season tonight at home against Pepperdine. They got 3 players out of the starting lineup not playing tonight. So glad to have you here. This is our backup plan, and it's been a pretty good backup plan as we've got the great pitchers down here in Ardmore. Well, let's take a look at some Class 5A scores if we bring in Phil Nichols here. And here are your scores. Tahlequah leads Coweta 13-7. That's a little bit of an upset. Coweta Phil, was the district champions, and Tahlequah the 4 seed. So it's a similar contest like this, a 4 versus a 1. But let's be honest, Phil, the east side, not all that tough. Now, I'm sure someone will win it from the east side and shock the world, but east side not nearly as talented as the west side.
I'd like to get a little money laid on that one, buddy, if you want to. But, yeah, I mean, it's just so darn odd because it's the exact same way. Obviously, you flip the switch when you go to 6A Division I. It just flips on the side of the states. But it always seems like no matter how good of a club they do in the regular season, you got a club can be 10-0 and they'll go out in the first round.
Absolutely.
So,
let's get to two scores here on the west side of the state, and here particularly in our district, Phil, as the number 1 and undefeated Carl Albert Titans in the third quarter lead Lawton MacArthur by a score of 27-15. Lawton MacArthur down as well a little bit this year, 6-4, but got to be playing with a lot of some toughness in their mind. After having some success last week in a win against Ardmore.
Yeah, I mean that score, that's about where Ardmore played them, earlier in the year. So that score actually does surprise me a little bit.
It's one of those deals, Phil, with Carl Albert. They have on paper a tougher first round game than they would a second round game.
No doubt. I mean, I think this first round game, you could argue, is tougher for them than they'll probably see in the semis potentially.
Potentially.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy draw. But that district, with Altus and Ardmore and Lawton Mac and
Del City.
Del City. Thank you. What a stacked district.
Yeah, they're pretty tough 1 through 4. Of course, last year 5A2. Carl Albert and McGinnis played in the state championship game and are two good teams again this year. So it's always a good debate who's better, 5A1 or 5A2. And I think when you count all the 14 games throughout the 5A season, I think 5A2 still has the advantage.
I agree with that. But it's just been for years it wasn't even close.
Correct.
5A2 always had the advantage, but one has definitely pulled it back. Got a little closer now.
Scoring update in Bishop McGinnis in the third quarter. Del City trails the Irish by a score of 21-13. Of course, Phil, McGinnis without Owen Condon, the offensive lineman, about 2 or 3 weeks into the season. And then last week, Dominic Richardson going down with a season-ending injury, the Piedmont transfer. And so McGinnis' first-round game got a lot tougher with Del City Eagles.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm actually surprised. I think I picked them to beat McGinnis tonight, and but we also said, now saying all that, it wouldn't surprise us if McGinnis wins because they're such a greatly coached program and they have great support of their fans. The kids expect to win, so they've lost two of their best players.
Scoring update: Altus just got on the scoreboard again, and now in the third quarter, Lawton Eisenhower, who's 5-5 and had a great rebound season from a year ago, finished third in the district in front of the Blue Jays. They're in Altus tonight, and Altus regains the lead or takes the lead for the first time. I'm not sure which one that is, but it's 14-13 in the third. That's a 2-3 matchup.
Wow. I mean, that's, of course, they've got the one super kid down there at Ike, and I'm sorry,
RJ Fisher.
Thank you, the Fisher kid, great quarterback, plays defensive back, kicks, punts, gets the water ready. I mean, he does everything for him. But when you got an athlete like that kid, this can happen. You can have these kind of games.
Shawnee Wolves are hosting a playoff game. They're hosting Claremore, and Claremore has a 14-7 lead. And not real surprising, but yeah, kind of. We saw Bishop Kelly, Phil, in the scrimmage against Guthrie and Douglas earlier this year. They got a couple of college prospects on their team, but right now they're getting shut out at home to the Noble Bears, 36-0.
Well, I mean, that is the shocking score of the night so far. I mean, I don't, I had them beating Noble, which was just, even though it's home, that's asking a lot because Noble's got a pretty fine little club this year. But
they do.
But to be shut out at that, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, Noble lost 2 games this year, but again, playing, they're on the west side, but playing against east side schedule, kind of like Shawnee. That's that tends to lean your wins and losses a little bit one way. You play the east and not the west in 5A football. Yeah, the other score to report in 5A, Game and Sky took Glenpool, the Warriors, in 5A football for the first time and in the playoffs. Congratulations to them. But at halftime, they trail 24 points by a score of 31-7. Those are some of your 5A scores. We'll take a quick look at 6A Division II football scores. This is one of our classes that we like to watch the most for our high school huddle show that airs each and every week weeknight on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 on 93.7 FM, and of course on Guthrie News page Facebook. Here are the 4 scores playing tonight. Booker T. Washington in the third quarter on top of Putnam City 49-14. Both Phil and I think Booker T will sleepwalk, or maybe not sleepwalk, but get to the state championship game.
Right.
At halftime in Lawton, the Lawton Wolverines lead the Muskogee Roughers, led by head coach Rafe Watkins. At halftime, Lawton 28, Muskogee 16. Bixby in the third quarter taking it to Stillwater 35-7. Stillwater, Bixby has won all 3 state championships in 6A Division II. Slow start, but have won 5 of the last 6 games. And Bixby is one of those teams that is down this year, but again, you don't want to see them on your playoff schedule.
No, and I think you probably got a situation, and of course we don't know this, but you never know what's in a high school kid's mind, but unfortunate situations being investigated right now in Bixby. Kids were suspended, players that are on the team were suspended. Some were relieved or kicked off the team. You never know. These Stillwater kids might have went down there and they thought, well, gosh, we're going to walk in there and this is going to be a cakewalk. And then you never know what happens. Some of these other kids that had to step up and play tonight from Bixby probably rallied around this very, very, very sad situation that's unfolding right now in Bixby. So that's a shocking score as well.
One other score to update in 6A Division II, Midwest City Bombers shutting out Sand Springs in Midwest City. Score there is 34-0. So right now, looks like a Bixby Midwest City semifinal game, and looks like it could be a Lawton and Booker T matchup. Kind of what we expected in 6A Division II. Going to take a time out here on the Golden Chick halftime show. When we come back, Phil and I will talk about the good folks at Golden Chick, as well a look at 6A Division I scores, maybe some 4A scores, 3A scores, and definitely some Class A scores as Cashion and Crescent try to pull off first-round victories here tonight in the opening round of the playoffs in the state of Oklahoma. Halftime score here in Ardmore. Tigers 34, Guthrie 7. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show. John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football. We're all about Guthrie and the people who live here.
It's all true started with looking at our competitors and watching some of this, what I call geeky advertising that is not true. Our it is true deal is the fact that when we tell you something, it's really true, everything we do. And the people that talk about us and the things that you're told by your neighbors, believe it, we do take care of our customers.
John Vance Auto Group.
Golden Chick halftime show rolls on here in Ardmore, Oklahoma. So glad to have you on board on this Friday night alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Kel Evans, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. The Guthrie Blue Jays in the locker room down big, 27 points to the Ardmore Tigers, 34-7. And Phil, Lula and the crew at Golden Chick got it rolling on. They, the tenders have been going. I think Phil just dropped is that my equipment, Phil?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I thought you dropped.
What you saw?
I thought you dropped some equipment.
I dropped a couple of business cards.
Oh, business cards. Oh, appreciate that.
Ask and answer, Chris.
Always a great time to get set for the winter sports if you want to advertise on the broadcast. And we will not have radio coverage of basketball, but we'll have video coverage and video commercials. How about that? And one of those will be Golden Chick, Phil, and all kidding aside, one of the best performing stores in the nation.
Well, they do a great job out there. We talked about Lula, and just a fabulous job. And you cheer for her because she's worked so darn hard. And she deserves, as does her staff. Obviously, she doesn't do it by herself. All of the accolades that she gets, and it's well deserved. But big fans of what they're doing.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Lula, I-35 and Highway 33 right there at that intersection. So find you out there. Everybody knows where it's at, so I don't need to go any further. But let's look at some more football scores around the state of Oklahoma. Coming up next, we'll have stats of this first half of the ball game as we get set for second half action as well. Here are your 6A1 scores. Tulsa Union Number 1 and undefeated lead Edmond Santa Fe at halftime, 21-3. Phil, they're playing your favorite song.
I'm clapping my hands, buddy.
I know you are. I can't believe
Get
it.
to zoom in on this joy I have on my face right now.
I just heard them play your favorite. You were singing this on the way down here.
What, Tootsie Roll?
No.
Oh,
if you're happy and you know it.
Clap your hand. Yeah, I'm a happy guy.
I'm hoping our field mics are picking up your favorite song.
Oh, boy.
All right. Back to action here. At halftime, Broken Arrow leads Norman North in a close one. And we said if there was going to be one upset, it would be this one, Phil. Broken Arrow 17, Norman North 14.
Yeah, gosh, and we both agreed on this ball game. We thought that if it was going to happen, it would happen in this game. So it's, two equally matched clubs going at it. So it should be a great finish over there.
More Lions, congratulations. They are in the playoffs for the first time in a long, long, long time. But they're in jinx tonight. 28-10 is the score there, last reported in the second quarter. And at halftime, Phil, your Owasso Rams.
That's right.
7, Westmore Jaguars 0.
Well, it's cold out, Chris, and they're having a hard time getting cranked up. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. All right, so those are some of the 6A Division I scores. We'll take a quick look at Class 4A football. Heritage Hall, who we think will finish runner-up in 4A football, leads Tuttle by a score of 42-0. Weatherford trails Bethany 21-14. You have former Bethany head coach Reagan Roof taking on Bethany. And Wagner, here's the score. Here's the shocker of the night, Phil.
Oh, no.
Wagner has won 47 straight ball games. They trail Podo in the third quarter 28-14.
Wow. Are you serious?
That is it. We picked Wagner to beat Heritage Hall in the finals, and right now Wagner is down double digits in the third quarter.
I'm more concerned about the fact that if Wagner goes down, I think they're the only people that can stop Heritage Hall. So, I mean, we've got to – wow, that's crazy. That is if that holds, that is obviously the shocker in the state for the evening.
3A scores, Jones, number 1 Jones, undefeated Jones, taking down Chandler at halftime 58-0. Perkins Tryon is in Prague tonight. At halftime, they trail by a score of 22-19. Our good friends over in Kingfisher hosting the Douglas Trojans at halftime. Kingfisher leads it 23-6. Berry Hill, no score reporting against Chakotah. We think they will roll big. John Marshall leads Pauls Valley, score 35-7. And Cushing being shut out tonight. In Sperry by a score of 35-0.
Hey, Phil, I told you Broken Arrow was going to win this week.
Stop. You're at your what was he doing Wednesday night, Chris?
Scrapbooking contest.
I was at a coaches meeting in Yukon.
You were scrapbooking, and we're proud of you. I know Casey didn't like to brag. He came home with a white ribbon this week, third place. Great job. Great job, buddy.
9.5 hours, Phil. 9.5 hours.
Of scrapbooking?
No, that's what I had to do last week, driving the school expedition, and this is what I get for it.
Well, I mean, it was.
And then I tell you to go ahead and root for or to pick Broken Arrow to win, and this is what I get, right?
Look at you, stealing my thunder, little buddy.
Real quickly, 2A football, the future back-to-back state champions Millwood Falcons lead Pockleball 63-0.
Can we go ahead and just send the ball over there?
High school huddles every week from 6 to 7, right? 93.7 FM.
That's Chisholm leads Meeker 16-7. Again, these are our Class 2A football scores, and it seemed like there was one more score I want to mention. Alva Goldbugs trailing at home to Christian Heritage by a score of 26-6. Davis is rolling against Hobart by a score of 34-6. Real quickly, Class A football before we get to our next break here. Pawnee leads Hominy in Hominy 13-6.
Boy, they're having fun with that, especially after what happened last year in that Pawnee-Hominy game, right?
That's right.
In Cashin, number 7th ranked Wildcats lead Woodland 21-6. And the Crescent Tigers, undefeated, top ranked. Some have top ranked. I still think they're number 2. I'm trying to find their score, Krager. I'm not sure
if not 3, yeah.
55-0 in their contest, and top-ranked Afton, who I think will win it all in Class A, has a halftime lead of 46-0 over Savannah.
You don't think Oklahoma Christian?
Crescent's going to win that.
Morrison's beating Kiefer 28-0.
Good for Morrison.
Now let's get down to Class C for the district champion Coyle Blue Jackets. They're at home tonight in Logan County.
Winning.
3 of the 4 teams in Logan County hosting district games, by the way.
This is always the week you hope that everybody has enough players to play, and then you actually get to play your first-round matchup, right?
Well, Coyle does by far. They have a 58-14 lead in the third quarter.
Good for them. Good for them.
So those are some of the scores around the state of Oklahoma here in the first round of the playoffs. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Craig Fleck joins us and takes a look at the first half stats.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Why is it that we go to an OSU football game and the sound system is horrific? I mean, like terrible.
Oh, boy.
And then you come to Ardmore and it sounds like this. Why is that?
Well, we got to tour the facility before we got here, and a lot of money spent in the offseason here in Ardmore.
Yeah, man.
Did a fine job.
That place is bumping down there. It's like it's 1996 in Chris Evans' bedroom. It's rattling all the dishes downstairs.
It really is. In the press box.
Casey, I'd break it down for you down here, but I don't think I can get back up.
Please don't.
Phil,
you're our cowbell. We need more cowbell, but not right now, right?
Phil, explore the space.
Explore the space.
Timeout here in Ardmore. Tigers 34, Blue Jays 7. This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
The Golden Chick Halftime Show rolls on with the John Vance Auto Group scoring summary after this.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Your conduct is a direct reflection of you, your community, and your school. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
Welcome back. Golden Chick Halftime Show rolls on here in Ardmore. Glad to have you on this Friday night. Blue Jays making their way back onto the field. Ardmore as well making their way onto the field. Bring in statistician Craig Fleck.
What is he?
I don't know. I was trying to think.
A stat practitioner?
Can we talk about something real quick?
I was like, do I say Craig Fleck or Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, Phil.
Well, I don't think we're giving enough credit to the loyal, very dependable Kel Evans. I think. I think he is.
You're just trying to deflect attention away from our video coordinator.
Who's that? Well, he's not here. So, but I think there's been a changing of the guard tonight, and I've been getting text messages from home saying that the video quality this week's the best it's been all year. I'll just leave it at that.
It's all about the bandwidth on the internet, Bill.
I did notice earlier that Kale got top billing over me, and I've been here since before he was born. So I'm just saying, just throwing that out.
I just like to mix it up. Okay, we got to nay our way to Craig Fleck, our crack statistician, Craig Fleck.
All right, Blue Jays trailing in this one 34-7 at the half. Total offense-wise, Blue Jays 126 yards total. Ardmore 280 on almost identical number of plays. Blue Jays with 28 plays, Ardmore 29. Ardmore averaging 9.7 yards per play. Every time they snap the ball, they're almost getting a first down. That is disastrous for the Blue Jay defense. Jays averaging about 4.5 yards per play, which for the most part you'll take. Blue Jays 50 yards through the air, 22 yards through the air for the Tigers. 5 of 11 passing for Jackson Waddell. 1 of 2 passing for the Ardmore quarterback. However, one of those was a spike in order to stop the clock. So in reality, he's 1 of 1 for 22 yards. Also an interception there for Jackson Waddell. Blue Jays 76 yards rushing the football on 17 attempts, about 4.5 yards per attempt. Of course, there was a fumble that had some lost yardage and also a couple of negative rushing plays that really have brought that average down. You look over at Ardmore, 258 yards on the ground on 27 carries. That's 9.6 yards per carry for them. Looking at the penalties, 1 penalty for the Jays for 5 yards, 5 penalties for Ardmore for 30 yards. That's really been their Achilles heel so far, but the Blue Jays turned the ball over 3 times in that first half, 2 fumbles and an interception. Looking at first down stats,
almost even here. Blue Jays with 10 first downs in that first half to 11 for the Ardmore Tigers. Looking at the third down conversions, Blue Jays 2 of 5 on third down attempts, 1 of 5 for the Ardmore Tigers. Both teams 1 of 1 on fourth down. Go over some individual numbers real quick. Jackson Waddell, 5 of 11 through the air for 50 yards and an interception. Gavin Bryson, 13 carries for 79 yards, 6.1 yards per carry and a touchdown. Isaac Lewis is the leading receiver, 3 catches for 33 yards. Dominic Gooseby, Dane Jenkins, David Scott, and Cale Kaufman all tied for your leading tacklers. Going to go ahead and take our final timeout. Come back with the second half. You're listening to Blue Jay Football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
The Golden Chick Halftime Show continues. Coming up next, we get you ready with the Eskridge Chevrolet keys to the second half, as well as the Mercy Health Report.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
For 7 lead, alongside Phil Nichols, Trey Fleck, Cal Evans, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Blue Jays got to come back in a big way against one of the better teams in 5A football. We'll have our Eskridge Chevrolet's keys to the second half and a Mercy Health Report. We're underway, second half. A sky kick, build it at the 35, fair caught at the 35-yard line. Casey, let's quickly get into our Eskridge Chevrolet's keys to the second half.
Oh, did you say something? No, seriously, partner. Down 34-7. You got to get back to the patience that you had on that second drive, really even the first drive, and just start running it back to the boundary. Yeah. The short side of the field, which, as this sets up on that right hash, is to your right. That's where the weakest part of that Ardmore defense is. That's where you gashed them on the counter plays, and then the sweep plays and the lead plays back to the short side. That would be to the right side here.
Get to the Mercy Health Report here in just a second, as Blue Jays have a first down attempt.
There you go.
Hand off to Gavin on the right side. Just what Casey Porter wanted. Dancing to the 40, up to the 43, to the 44-yard line. And Phil, that's a good start to the second half. And you comment on that play as well as our Mercy Health Report.
Yeah, I mean, what I said is Gavin's running. We're just really proud of that kid. But, yeah, Mercy Health Report, much like the first half, we're good to go.
So the Blue Jays are going to be at full strength here in the second half?
Yes, sir. We need all of it, right?
Yep.
That's our Mercy Health Report. Mercy Hospital, Logan County, as well as on the South Clinic on South Division. Here's a Gavin Bryson run, needing just a yard for the first down, and he gets exactly that yard at the 45-yard line. And the Jays will have the first down. It's going to be a first down and 10, and for the Guthrie Blue Jays, that is their 11th first down. It matches Ardmore 11th first down.
If you're watching Guthrie Blue Jay football on YouTube, on your Roku back home, on your big screen TV, do not go away. If you remember the lot night game, it looks so bleak. Now, Guthrie didn't win that game, but you remember the 2 scores right quick, and then Guthrie had the ball trying to pull within 1 score in that game, and it can happen that fast, especially the way the Ardmore plays.
Isaac Lewis in motion. Jackson fakes the option, gets across midfield to the 49-yard line. Nice run speed option there. Of course, Ardmore a little bit of a different animal with different players that are capable, but
when I say the way they play triple option football, which means sometimes they can't help it but to call pitch plays. And we saw it with OU in the 80s. They would fumble the ball 7 or 8 times a game. Now, they'd get some of them back, but they are capable of fumbling it.
Second down and 4, first down as Jackson finds Gugelsberg. Once again, he's been busy. That one's up to the 40-yard line for little bitty number 2 in front of the Blue Jay bench. It's a 9-yard pickup for the first down.
And again, wearing out that right side of the field, making some adjustments at halftime, and really able to study your charts and your video to see what's working. You have time to look at it to know what to go back to. Coach Mick has done that beautifully on this drive.
First and 10 from the Ardmore 40-yard line. Ball's on the far hash mark. Gavin Bryson up the middle to the 35. Hit hard at the 35, but stays on his feet. Breaks the tackle. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's headed to the end zone. 10, 5. Touchdown, Gavin Bryson. What a night for the senior as he strikes up the Guthrie band. 40-yard touchdown run for Gavin Bryson.
I love that song, and I love that power play. If you're able to rewind, which we'll have that eventually, you can go back and watch that left guard, Justin Ergang, wrap around the center, and then Gavin Bryson back to the right side, the short side, get right behind that wrapping guard on that power play, break a couple tackles, golden goalpost. It can happen in a hurry.
Blue Jays on the scoreboard. Gavin Bryson trying not to be his final game here tonight. New score, 34-14. This is Blue Jay football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Blue Jays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
Gavin Bryson, 16 carries, 129 yards, and now 2 rushing touchdowns after a 40-yard gallop into the end zone. Blue Jays go 65 yards on 5 plays, less than 2 minutes. That is your John Vance Motor scoring summary. 34-14 is your new score, 10-12 to play here in the third quarter. David Vargas approaches the football, and it's an onside kick, a beautiful bounce, but Ardmore fields it nicely at the 45-yard line. Nothing wrong with that play there. You got some momentum, and now the Blue Jay defense got to come out and stop the Tigers offense.
Yeah, you haven't been able to complete a circuit. That's what you're getting to is Guthrie's been able to score, and they've been able to stop Ardmore on a time or two, but you've never been able to do it consecutively.
Yeah.
And then score, get a good kick cover, and then stop them, and then complete that entire offense, defense, special teams circuit. This gives you the chance. You went and scored, you covered the onside kick. Now you have a chance to come play defense and complete it with all 3 phases of your team.
First and 10 for the Tigers from their own 46-head line. Dane Jenkins comes up and makes a big tackle. No pickup for the Tigers. Dane Jenkins, another senior, playing well this year. And he says the wrestling man can hold off a few more weeks if he has anything to say with it.
And I can tell you right now, Guthrie certainly, as they're down 34-14, certainly has the ability to score 3 more times in this game. I promise you that. The question is going to be, can you stop Ardmore?
Wishbone formation on second down and 10. It's a fumble snap. Quarterback picks it up, and there's going to be 5 Blue Jays to bring him down for a big loss. And boy, Casey, if you can get a stop here and put one more score on the scoreboard, you have the full attention of the Tigers.
You have the full attention of the Tigers. And the great thing about that, we play 12-minute quarters in high school football, and it took less than 2 minutes to go score on your first drive. That's how little resistance sometimes Ardmore gives defensively, and that's how good Guthrie can be in the rushing game, and that's how fast it can happen. And Ardmore, you know they're going to be conservative here, either a fullback dive or quarterback duck. It looks like you're going to get off the field.
Turvey Williams with the tackle. 3rd down and 13. Tigers want to throw. They go downfield. One-on-one, man's wide open, and it's going to be incomplete, but interference. It's going to be an easy call for the official as Jay's defender, looked like that was Gavin, did not turn back and find the football, and it was an easy call for the back judge.
Guthrie got lucky to begin with. Terrence Bibbs was trying to get off the field and really could have gotten called for 12 men off the field. He was not off the field before Ardmore snapped the ball, and then surprising to me, of course, the field position dictated that. I did not think Ardmore would throw the ball in that long yardage situation. I just thought they'd hand it off punt, try to play defense. Surprised me, surprised the Guthrie defense, and got the call out of it.
And Guthrie got lucky too because the quarterback, Creed Cox, underthrew the football as the receiver number 7, who had a great one-handed catch earlier, McGee, was streaking wide open.
And we've talked about completing the circuit. Guthrie scored.
Defensive pass interference. Guthrie will give him a 1st down.
Covered the onside kick, then had a big 3rd and long. If you remember, it was 3rd and 17 on the 3rd touchdown drive of the first half. Ardmore ran the reverse. Then the quarterback, Cox, broke about 5 tackles on the 4th down play to score. Now you have a big 3rd down penalty. Guthrie has not been able to get off the field on 3rd and long against this offense. You'd figured you'd be able to do that on.
Penalty moves it to the 42-yard line, 1st down and 10. And there's a fumble on the pitch. Gavin Bryson was able to knock it loose. That's Kel Kaufman. Kel Kaufman knocked the pitch down, but Ardmore recovers the fumble at the 41-yard line. Kel Kaufman, we've seen Richard Brothers, we've seen Kittrell Brothers, Jerron Pryor almost
Elliott Curry
invent that play, and that's exactly what Kel Kaufman was able to do. It's a big loss of 17 yards.
You have a 20-point lead. You're going under 9 minutes in the game. I told you how fast it can happen because they pitch the ball. And anytime you pitch the ball, you bring the element of a fumble into the equation, something that the quarterback Cox did. Of course, this was because Kaufman knocked it away, but the turnover is always there when you run triple option football.
2nd down and 27. And off fullback, nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage. And so now 3rd down, Chin Scary. Now the Blue Jays showing some momentum as they're bouncing up and down defensively. Need to get one more stop here on 3rd down to get the Ardmore punting team back on the field and try to put another score on the scoreboard.
I got to say, Phil, on the sideline, it's 34-7 at half, and you're a long ways away from home, and nothing's going great. But we've talked about those seniors all night.
Yeah.
Isaac Lewis, number 1, Gavin Bryson, number 5. They have willed this Blue Jay team back into playing hard, have they not?
Well, Gavin's been an on the field, but also an incredible leader on the sideline. He's just playing the best game I've ever seen him play, and obviously the best job of leadership I've ever seen that young man have is tonight.
3rd down, 27, fullback up the middle, midfield, and able to get to the Guthrie 46-yard line and still 13 yards shy of the 1st down. And here comes the punting team for the Ardmore Tigers.
Yeah, and you know what that was? That wasn't the 1st down, but it was a 13-yard gain, which meant just add 13 yards to this punt.
This
big field position gained, although you didn't get the 1st down. Ardmore did flip in some field position, took some time off the clock, so it was not an empty possession for them.
Ardmore's 3rd punt is a line drive into the end zone, but there's a flag thrown.
It's going to be running into.
As the Blue Jays run into the punter.
The rule of thumb on a running versus roughing, if you run into their foot, running into an Ardmore, I think, would probably re-kick this just to try to pin Guthrie down deep, I would think. The rule of thumb is if you hit the foot, they're going to usually call running into. If you hit the leg, they'll call roughing.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
This one was full body, but it wasn't very hard, and since the ball went into the end zone, if I was Ardmore, I would re-kick and try to pin this thing inside the 10-yard line.
Tigers getting the explanation on the sideline. They're going to relay that to the head official, as you see on the middle of your screen.
Now you start even thinking about going for it on 4th and 7.
I would.
Yeah, even if you don't get it, from where you kick that into the end zone, it's only about a 15-yard difference anyway, so you have a lot of – nope, they decline it. And Guthrie will take the ball on the 20. That would, of all the options that were out there, that's not the one I would have taken.
Oh, wow.
What just happened?
They just declined the penalty, and they gave Guthrie the ball in the 20 because apparently they didn't want to take the chance of repunting it and making a mistake in the punt game.
Huh.
Like I said, of all the options they had available to them, that would have been the last one that I would have chosen, but who am I to say?
Well, here comes the Guthrie offense back onto the field. 6:31 to play in the third quarter. Jays down 20, 34-14. Guthrie's been down early and often in this one.
Now you're in the middle of the field, so you have to set an H-back or a tight end somewhere to make that safety declare where he wants to play, and then you run away from him. And I'll tell you about the adjustment they've made here in a second.
Hand off Gavin Bryson, no adjustment there. Jays will stick with him as he picks up 3 yards on the pickup.
Guthrie's going to have to go opposite that now. If you've looked at number 6, I believe that is at the top, he is now going away from the tight end and or H-back, which means now that same play you've been running all night, you're going to have to run it opposite and to the tight end, opposite of the way you've been running it all night.
Gavin for 3, 2nd down and 7. Balls in the middle of the field, about the 23-yard line. Jackson will keep this one as he gets to the 25, upended at the 27. And so now the Jays will have a 3rd down and 3 play upcoming as we roll underneath 6 minutes in the third quarter.
Guthrie just made that adjustment. Coach Mick, it does not take him a whole long time to figure out what the defense is doing and what adjustments they've made. It took him all of one play to find it there, and Jackson got some pretty good yards to set up a 3rd down and manageable.
3rd down and officially 2 yards. Jackson, Gavin, bouncing it, cutting it up. Can he get there? Cannot.
Yeah,
back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down 2.
Guthrie ran to Parker Rainey's side that time, and that's because Ardmore started rolling their safety opposite the way they've been doing it the whole game. It's the right play to call, but again, it's back to a really good outside linebacker who can run you down, and he was able to, and that's just how athletic Ardmore is. That could not have been schemed up any better from the Guthrie offense.
I believe that's the first 3 and out for the Jay offense tonight.
Yep. Really, Guthrie hasn't been stopped other than the fact they stopped themselves with turnovers.
Got to hurry here. Only 6 seconds on play clock. They're just now breaking huddle. 4, 3, 2, 1. And
that eliminates any possibilities of going for it at this point.
Flag is thrown. It is a delay game against the Jays.
Got a dead ball, delay a game. Guthrie, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
You know, it is amazing, Phil, even in games like this where it looks like it could go sideways, it's still just a handful of plays that tilts it, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, a play here, don't turn the ball over twice. I mean, it's just little things.
3 turnovers, as Phil was alluding to, have led to 21 points. Take those away. It's Jay's 14-13 game. David Vargas, a beautiful punt. Filled at the 30, far sideline from the Guthrie bench, out of bounds, just shy of the 40-yard line. So the Tigers will have a 1st down and 10. First round of the 5A playoffs. Ardmore, number 2 team in the state of Oklahoma, we believe, leads the Blue Jays by a score of 34-14. The winner of this ball game more than likely will move on to play Noble.
Their most dynamic offensive player is not even playing tonight. That would be number 8, their quarterback, Tyree Roberts. And I think, Phil, we saw that pitch with the left hand from the quarterback Cox last time. I think that's the last time they're going to pitch the ball out of that option game tonight.
I bet you're right.
So if they do run option, just key on the quarterback, right?
Exactly.
47-yard punt for David Vargas, and there's a fake pitch by Cox, and down at the 44-yard line, a 2-yard pickup. Noble Bears lead Bishop Kelly. Noble Bears officially win that game tonight. So Noble will now wait for the winner of this ball game. If Ardmore holds on, Noble will come here next week. If Guthrie should rally and win, Noble would be coming to Guthrie.
Wow, that would be a great matchup for the Blue Jays. Yeah, Cox wanted to pitch that, didn't he, Phil?
Yeah, but there was that little voice saying, don't do it, don't do it.
2nd down 8 for the Tigers from their own 45-yard line. Another option. This one is optioned off. 45 midfield, 1st down at the Guthrie 45-yard line.
Shows you what I know. And Coach Holloway, obviously, he's been running triple option football out of the wishbone since J.C. Watts has been quarterbacking in the late 70s at OU. So who am I to tell him how to run his offense? He's been doing it for a long time. and at the highest of levels.
Troy Branson with the tackle, but not after a 10-yard pickup. Wishbone formation, first down and 10. Yes, wishbone formation in 2017. Ardmore Tigers. Cox keeps it, and he'll pick up a couple of yards out to the 42-yard line.
See, I'm one who, to me, the wishbone was the spread of the 80s, meaning that you had a lot of action. You had, really, it's an RPO situation to where the RPOs nowadays, you have the ability to throw a forward pass, but it's still a triple option type play where you have 2 runs, 1 pass. The wishbone was the first.
Got chop block, Ardmore, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
6 penalty of the night for Ardmore.
The wishbone was the first triple option that you could have in any one play. You have 2 runs and then a pitch backwards instead of now modernized football. It's a pass forward off of. They call them here. You call it triple option football. Nowadays you call them RPOs. Same concept.
Tigers, after the penalty, will have a first down and 23. They've been behind the chains several times here in this ball game. See if the Jays can stop them. Cox wants to throw, surveys the field, comes down to the near side and overshoots his intended receiver, incomplete. Want to give a shout out to Chris Talbot, who's watching the broadcast. Chris, obviously, him and his family, longtime Guthrie resident, still Guthrie at heart, but now down in the McAllister area. Of course, McAllister nowhere near playoffs this year. Tough season there for the Buffaloes, but appreciate Chris and the family listening in, and always good to keep in touch with the Talbots.
Yeah, Chris is one good dude. He was one heck of a baseball player and pitcher. Got to coach him in junior high and then moved up and got to coach him in high school as well. So got to enjoy him, and both his sister Lindsay was a heck of a softball player too.
A lot of fans out there liking the new video setup that we will have, hopefully for the rest of a long time, as the Tigers sweep it on the left side. Not much there, bring up a 3rd down and long, but a lot of great positive comments about the video.
Yeah, it was.
We're going to be bringing that.
And it's only going to get better. You know, only one camera at this point. We're still trying to ease our way into things so it doesn't get too complicated all at once. But I'll tell you what, when you talk about Chris Talbot and Lindsay and their parents Joe and Sheila, those are the types of people that you build communities and programs and teams around, because they are just fantastic people.
3rd down and 21 for the Tigers. Wishbone formation. Prettiest handoff you'll ever see on 3rd down and 21. And it gets the Guthrie territory at the 49-yard line. Scurry on the carry. It'll bring up punting time. 4th time of the night for Ardmore to punt. This punt will come under 2 minutes of play in the 3rd quarter in a 34-14 ball game.
You know, I remember last possession, it was 3rd and about 25, and they turned around and handed it off to their fullback, and you're like, well, why would you do that? For field position. They got 13 yards on the 3rd down play, and then they end up pinning Guthrie down to the 20. Again, you get 8 yards on this play, which just adds to your field position. Now you have a chance to pin Guthrie down again.
4th down, 14, punt, bounces at the 24-yard line, takes a Tiger bounce, and will be down inside the 15-yard line. Minute 34 left in the 3rd quarter. Ardmore 34, Guthrie 14. Couple of scores reported in 5A. We have an upset and a final. Tahlequah takes down Coweta 19-7 in a 4-1 matchup. Coweta was district champions, but they end their season, so Tahlequah will advance on the east side. Bishop McGinnis continues to hold on to a 7-point lead over Del City in Oklahoma City. Score there is 28-21. Carl Albert looks like they're headed to 11-0 as they are leading Lawton MacArthur. Score there is 41-15.
A lot of pressure on Carl Albert. They have never won a state title as an undefeated team.
Absolutely, and Altus leads Eisenhower by a score of 35-28 as the Jays run on the right side. There is a flag down. Altus leads Eisenhower 35-28. That's in the 4th quarter.
Wow. Altus has scored 35 points. And I saw a lot of the Altus-Ardmore game on film, and Ardmore is substantially better than Altus. I know the score didn't show that, but when you just look at the two teams lining up, Altus is not unbelievable from a personnel perspective. They would look not quite as good, in my opinion, as Guthrie on the hoof if you just line them up against the bus and compare physiques.
Got illegal motion. Still first down.
That illegal motion will move the football inside the 10-yard line. Jays have been pretty good on penalties, but that's a big one there as their 3rd penalty of the night, but this one's inside the 10. Now it's first down and 15. Jays got a long way to go.
But Altus just doesn't make mistakes. They call the right plays, they figure out where the weakness is in your defense, and they wear it out, and they don't make mistakes doing it.
Gavin Bryson, been busy, over 100 yards, goes across the 10 up to about the 12.5-yard line, close to the 13. Gavin Bryson on the night now, 17 carries for 132 yards.
Getting to that point of the night where you start losing energy, it starts getting cold as you look over the Guthrie sideline. Lots of guys there on the west end of that sitting down on the bleachers, not really watching right now, trying to catch a break, but also probably trying to contemplate how this season has gone to this point.
Jackson wants it all, goes down the field, has a man, Isaac is wide open, dives, and makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Great catch there. You were hoping he caught it in stride field to go to the house, but dove at the last second. Good thing he did. He doesn't come up with that catch.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, last 2 weeks done a phenomenal job at wideout. Outstanding effort, great catch.
34 yards for Isaac Lewis, 43 seconds to play in the third.
Boy, this sets up well for that counter back to the right.
Jackson, 3-receiver set, takes the snap, hands it off to Gavin, trying to get to the edge. He gets to midfield and down there at the 49-yard line. A 4-yard pickup for Gavin. Jays can hurry to get one more offensive play. If not, the next play will come in the fourth quarter.
You still have enough time. Guthrie has enough time to score 3 times. We've seen the explosiveness. Guthrie's been able to run the ball. The question is, are you going to be able to stop Ardmore enough to get 3 possessions in the fourth quarter?
Jackson throws it on the run. It's caught by Isaac. First down as he gets to the 40. Clock stops with 8 seconds. Guthrie, if he count at home, has all 3 timeouts. Ardmore also has all 3 timeouts.
Try to sneak in a play out here after the first down. You need every single timing scenario to go your way from this point on, the way Ardmore plays offense. You need to get this one snapped.
5 seconds. Jackson does. Screen, Isaac drops the ball, and probably a good thing because there's going to be a loss and a hard hit upcoming, and there's 1 second left.
Yeah, you were going to lose yardage, and then you were going to lose the time. Instead, you drop it.
Free
it's
play.
Only 2nd and 10. Now you have still another play left in the third quarter. You can see how far Jackson can throw one right here.
You can definitely get it there. Win is behind his back. 2nd down and 10. Receiver in motion. Right to left. Jackson wants to throw. And down with the sack, and Gavin missed or didn't see the block or the end coming, and that's the end of the third quarter.
Remember the play where Gabe was open in the first half on that wheel route? Same play, opposite side of the field. Jackson couldn't get it off.
End of the third. Ardmore 34, Guthrie 14. Comeback, fourth quarter action on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
John Vance Auto Group is proud to be a sponsor of Guthrie High School football.
The John Vance Auto Group is 100% family owned. My children, Megan and Garrett, both participate in this ownership, as well as my nephew, Derek, who runs our Miami store. And I think we go about the old golden rule. How do we want to be treated in these situations? We sell cars, but we are in the people business. Taking care of people is what it's all about. And it's a family tradition with each and every one of them, including myself.
John Vance Auto Group.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
We get set with fourth quarter action in Ardmore, Oklahoma. Blue Jays perhaps 12 minutes away from their season coming to an end. Alongside Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Kel Evans, Casey Porter, I am Chris Evans. Welcome back on the Blue Jays Sports Network. Blue Jays will come back on the field and face a 3rd down and 18. Not a way you want to start the fourth quarter.
Might as well be 2nd down because I don't think you have enough time left on the clock to ever punt again.
Jays need the 30-yard line. Jackson obviously will throw it. Here comes a blitz on the outside. Jays pick it up. Jackson throws it on the run. Is he caught? Is it inbounds? It is a catch and Phil. There he is again, Kay Gugelsberg.
Done a great job all night. I'll tell you what, he's the epitome of a team player. He's doing a great job.
4th down, 11. Obviously, the Jays will keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, there's a penalty flag way back at
Was that
the
roughing the
39-yard line. No, he was rolling. We're going to have an illegal block on Guthrie. That's what happens a lot of times when the quarterback has to reverse his field is the defenders turn their back to the guy blocking them. And when that happens, blockers lose their leverage, and they just, instead of staying in front of the defender, they reach out and grab him.
Got block in the back on White. Guthrie, remain third down.
And that is a block in the back because once you leave the tackle box, you now become a runner, which means you can no longer block in the back.
In the third quarter, Davis.
Pretty good video work there, Mr. Cale Evans. Good work. Good job, my man. Heard you had a big basketball game last night in Perkins, Oklahoma.
Yeah, boys junior high basketball off to a rocking 1-0 start. 7th grade and 8th grade.
Both won?
Both won, yeah. The hardest win's always the first one, right?
Craig Fleck, our statistician, said it's now officially 3rd down and 41.
In the Texas border. Jackson forced out of the pocket on 3rd and 4, big block. And Jackson will be taken down for a loss. It's a 2-yard loss. So Guthrie will lick their wounds and punt this one away.
Yeah, I said, you know, you don't have enough time to punt. But when you literally have half the field to go, 3rd and 43, you don't have it. 4th and 43, you don't have a choice. I mean, you just simply have to punt.
David Vargas on the punt. 4th time. Both teams will now have punted 4 times. And really, Ardmore case, he got all their points early on big plays.
Remember, Guthrie scored, and then on the second possession was going to score more than likely, but ran that read option and fumbled the ball. Then Ardmore scored 1 play later.
Vargas punt, his poorest of the night, although it's still a good one. 38 yards as it goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's pretty good when your worst punt of the night goes 38 yards. And David Vargas, and by the way, that goes into the winds. Craig Fleck points out precisely there. But David Vargas has been the most consistent player for the Jays all season. I mean, he's the punter and the kicker, but he's had success on the field goals. He's had some great punts, some great kickoffs. So he's been a very good player for the Jays this season.
He has been.
Junior,
this is where it gets really tough as a senior.
Yeah.
We've all been here. You're staring the end of your career, high school career, right in the face, and it just becomes really tough.
Handoff on 1st down, pickup of 3 yards from the 35 to the 38, 10:52, 10:51 here in Ardmore. Ardmore exit 31, so that means we're 31 miles from the Texas border. And
Terrence Bibbs is in the game right now.
About 2 hours away from Logan County.
J.D. Coonfield is in.
2nd down and 7. Ardmore moving right to left. Ball's on their hash mark. And timeout taken by Ardmore. We'll take a timeout with them. 10:24 left in this one.
Ardmore.
Timeout.
Ardmore 34, Guthrie 14. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
Sports, a powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Welcome back. Blue Jay Sports Network on 2nd down and 7. Tigers pick up a yard to the 40-yard line. So bring up a 3rd down and 5, 10-12, 10-11, 10-10. Ardmore not caring about points anymore. It's all about taking time off the clock.
It's all about taking pride in your personal self at this point and wanting to take pride to represent your program in the best way you possibly can in the last 9 minutes and 55 seconds.
Wishbone formation on 3rd down and 5. Option play. Cox keeps it, first down. Pushed out of bounds. And really, I brought it up before we ran out of time before that break, Casey. But outside some big plays early on, the Guthrie defense has been pretty consistent.
Yeah. I don't think Coach Beebe would be totally happy about it, like you said, other than those big plays early. The dive quarterback pitch is something he totally prides himself on, and his defense stopping. I'll say this Cox kid reminds you of some of the older Carl Albert quarterbacks like Garrett Kaiser and a little bit of JT Realmuto, those type of guys.
Hawkins. Run into Blue Jay territory from the 49 to the 49. Ardmore Tigers now with 312 yards of offense on 43 snaps. Blue Jays have also had 43 snaps tonight. Guthrie with 240 yards. And for Guthrie, 102 through the air, 138 on the ground.
I do not think this style of offense will beat a Carl Albert team this year.
Did earlier. Carl Albert won that game 28-12. Another handoff for the Tigers, and they're starting to move the pile now, getting to the 45-yard line. And
although it's the only type of offense that could keep that Carl Albert offense off the field long enough to actually give yourselves a chance, but I don't think you'll be able to keep up with them on the scoreboard playing offense like this.
Carl Albert and Ardmore, your two favorites to get to the state championship game.
Yep. Especially now that Noble defeated Kelly. I think Ardmore will take care of Noble a week from tonight.
3rd down and 5, pick up a 4, so brings up a 4th down 1. Obviously, Ardmore will excuse me, keep the offense on the field. Altus continues to lead Eisenhower 35-28. It is a final in Midwest City. Carl Albert takes down Lott MacArthur 41-15. Shawnee at home is trailing now to Claremore 21-14. And it's a final in Oklahoma City. Bishop McGinnis advances over Del City 28-21.
Whoa.
4th down and 1. Tigers need 1. They get 2.
Lott Nike and Altus. How's that coming?
Altus mentioned still
had a 7-point lead the last time we checked.
Still do, 35-28.
Now that game must not have been updated. Yeah, that PA guy has said that before. This offense can churn out some first downs, can it?
Although the Jays have been pretty consistent with Ardmore. Ardmore has 15. Guthrie has 15.
Yeah.
Tigers here on a first down play. You just feel like Tigers are just setting up a big play to get back in the end zone.
It felt like every time that Carl Albert would run that toss play to David Oku, you just felt like every play was setting up for him to take it to the house. Every time they run that pitch option and they actually pitch it to one of their halfbacks, you just feel like that at any particular point in time, they could take it to the house.
7:33 to play in the 4th quarter. Ardmore 34, Guthrie 14. So we do know this. Second round action at McGinnis. It'll be Tahlequah making the trip to Bishop McGinnis. Noble appears they will be heading here to Ardmore for the second round of the playoffs.
Boy, disappointing end for Bishop Kelly, huh?
Yeah. Carl Albert is waiting on the winner between Shawnee and Claremore.
Doesn't matter.
No, it sure doesn't. Carl Albert might have a tougher game tonight than they will next week.
Yeah, or the rest of the time. I don't think they'll be challenged until they get to see this Ardmore team. I don't think this Ardmore team can challenge them. I mean, this Ardmore team's good. They're solid, but they don't play, to me, good enough defense to even threaten to stop Carl Albert.
The Adrian Taylor in that running game.
Yeah. No way.
Second down 3, Tigers up the middle. First down and more. Bumbling, stumbling.
Well, that looks like Lydell Carr to me, man. 1981, Enid, Oklahoma. That's just what it looks like. Running that wishbone triple option fullback dive right up the middle. That is some old school stuff right there. Old school stuff. It's kind of fun for me to watch because it takes me back to my childhood.
I was going to tell you, we have to lead the state in Lydell Carr references. Even the Enid radio team, I guarantee you, has not said Lydell Carr more than you this year as a handoff across. We're breaking down Lydell Carr references now.
He was the greatest high school football player in the history of time. There's one more for you.
There's one more. He was very talented. There's no doubt about that.
According to me, he was. Definitely.
Tigers can get one more first down inside the 2.
Played a half of football on a broken leg one time.
You did?
He did. No, I didn't.
Oh, now you're using pronouns. he's so well known. He's pronoun guy now. Timeout taken on the field. We'll take a Lydell Carr timeout.
I'm a history teacher. I don't even know what a pronoun is.
6:44.
Is that a food?
Left in this one.
Then
Ardmore 34.
I don't know
Guthrie 14. Hit the play button. Okay. This is Blue Jay Football on the Blue Jay Sports Network.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
I guess every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Joseph Clark runs into the end zone as we are away there. You saw it on your monitor, though. It's a 9-yard touchdown run for Big 22, Joseph Clark, 5'11", 176 senior. Ardmore coaches get the senior into the end zone. First points of the second half.
Yeah.
Extra points up. We'll leave it here, 41-14. Actually, we do need to take a break. We are due a break. 6:35 left in this one. Ardmore headed to the second round playoffs, 41-14. This is the Blue Jay Sports Network.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a link to listen to the Blue Jays streaming live over the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
Ardmore Tigers may have been the final nail on this one here, and now lead the Blue Jays 41-14 as they go on a nice drive. That is your John Vance Motors scoring summary. 6:35 left in the Blue Jays season. Jays getting ready to head to 5-6 to end their season. Ardmore getting ready to go to 9-2. Here's the return. Isaac Lewis inside the 10, gets to the 15, now backpedals, gets to the 20, runs into his own man at the 18, and tackle there. And it's first down for the Blue Jay offense.
Hey, Craig, you told me that you know what a pronoun is. What is a pronoun?
A pronoun is a noun that gets paid.
Like a noun that's a pro?
Yeah, it's a pro.
Okay, I see where you're going there. Very, very nice. Very nice.
Lance Evans, third grader, Fogarty Elementary.
Yes.
Has already gone over pronouns. They continue to work on pronouns.
Nice.
So you start learning pronouns in the third grade.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 8 parts of speech. Or not 8 parts of speech.
You're on your own.
I know.
You dove into that one. I have no
8 parts of, there's nouns, there's verbs, there's adverbs. As Gavin Bryson gets it to the 20-yard line. A couple yards there. Conjunctions. 8 parts of something. Someone will let me know.
What's it called when you put an apostrophe?
Contraction?
Contraction. There you go.
Second down 7. Closer to 8 yards for the Blue Jay offense. Rainey in the motion. Jackson rolls, plants the feet, goes downfield, wants it all, and it is incomplete at the 40-yard line. And Jays will have a third down play upcoming. 5:51 left in this one. Stay tuned after the ball game. We'll have our final Terra Insure Group post-game show. And hey, this is the final football game of the year, but we got a lot of fun stuff coming up for you here on the Blue Jay Sports Network. As we'll obviously bring you Guthrie basketball, we'll bring you Guthrie wrestling, but we're going to expand a little bit in the winter sports, as we might be making some trips to Crescent and Cashion and Coyle, and so we'll just kind of keep everything going and have a fun winter sport time.
Be fun to cover some different schools.
Yeah, Jackson Wydell downfield, and it's incomplete at midfield, and Blue Jays will have a fourth down, and David Vargas.
Might as well go for it.
Oh, yeah. I'd bring on David Vargas and let him just punt this one away, see if he can kick it over 50 yards.
Gave Marcellus Owens a shot to make a play. Threw it to him 3 times in a row. See if he can get behind the defense and score.
Jays will punt this one away from the 20-yard line. Been a fun football season, as again, it was kind of, is the internet going to work? Not going to work with the video feed? And
I think we kind of got it figured out at this point, how to get it done on the road.
Hopefully, and David Vargas with a poor kick. It sends the Ardmore bench.
This is where my Channel 7 starts getting a little bit sleepy on me, partner.
Is that what the little static is? Just don't make it mad. We got 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in this one.
I can definitely make it mad enough to turn it off, that's for sure, if I need to.
Hopefully that was the right touch there. Obviously the Blue Jay.
Adjustments. It's all about making adjustments.
Yes. Look at seniors like Dane Jenkins, Isaac Lewis.
Had great careers. Of course, I got to coach them all the way back in junior high. And then got to teach them in class. So very familiar with both them on the field and off the field. Wonderful young men.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. Take over at the Guthrie 37-yard line. Fumble snap picked back up by Cox. Not much there. Look at next year's schedule.
Troy Branson, senior, excuse me.
Yep, Troy Branson. Next year, 3 of the last 4 games will be played inside Jelsma, and Lawton and Woodward and Guyman will be coming to town. So the road trips will be a little bit easier next year.
Which means I get to go to Guyman in baseball. I never get to miss a trip to Guyman. I get to go at least once a year, whether it be in football or baseball. Last spring, got to go in baseball. This fall, I get to go in football.
Second down and 9.
Got to go.
One receiver to the far side. Receiver might as well just lay down. He ain't going to do nothing over there. Maybe block if it gets bounced out that way. There you go. It is getting bounced out, but not much there. And I'd like to thank big Kevin Roach, who did majority of our games this year, video, and unable to be with us tonight, but you know he's watching this one. And Phil has been subpar all season long on the sideline. That's all we were asking for, is subpar. Now Phil's been outstanding and have a penalty flag and a holding against Ardmore.
I finally found a coordinator spot for Phil.
Got holding, red, decline.
Driving coordinator?
Yeah, you know, Phil wanted to be a coordinator so bad all year. He wears the headphones with the microphone on and everything.
Transportation committee?
He's our transportation coordinator.
No.
How does that sound? Do I have him on mute? Oh, does he on mute? Okay.
He says he has something to say.
Okay.
Phil?
I'd seem to recall who was transportation secretary got us a bill for $314. So.
That's exactly right. That was written this week. Toss to the Tigers, and he's down at the 35-yard line. Dane Jenkins, one of those seniors we're talking about, on the tackle.
Marquise Miller, who got hurt earlier this year as a senior as well. So you lose, obviously, some very valuable players. You lose your running back and Gavin Bryson, your most explosive receiver, Isaac Lewis. But you do have a lot returning. And remember, these juniors this year have won a lot of games, especially earlier in their career, and they're a very talented group. So next year, when you mix them with some of the younger kids, you bring in a Josh Raines, maybe a Caden Stevenson, and guys like that up to the varsity level, you're going to be pretty talented next year.
Under 4 to play in the ball game. 4th down and 8 for the Tigers. Ball's on the near hash mark at the 35, and Ardmore takes a timeout, and I think, it's a delayed game. Excuse me.
They're going to throw the ball?
No.
No.
I'm guessing fullback blast.
We got a dead ball, delay of game. Ardmore, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I think they took the delay game on purpose to give their punter a little more room to deal with.
Thank you to all the great viewers out there before you drop off. Stay with us, though. Terry Insure Group Postgame show. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Line drive punt, bounces at the 10, takes an Ardmore hop and an Ardmore mini roll. It's down inside the 5. So here comes the Blue Jay offense with 3:43, and here comes a flag thrown.
That's where it gets chippy.
There's the dirty laundry on the field. Kel Evans shows everybody in internet land, and this one's going against the Blue Jays, so this one's going to be inside the 2. Mark it probably close to the 1-yard line.
That was the Guthrie band that you heard in the background there, too. They brought them a pep band. Offsetting personal foul penalties. I doubt we get an explanation. That was kind of long.
First down, Blue Jays from the 2-yard line.
Kel Evans, I saw the replay there. The ball rolled up nicely on the camera there on the 2-yard line.
Outstanding work.
We'll have to have him tag along
No
in
doubt.
the winter sports.
You'll have to pay him in the winter sports, though, I think.
He'll probably want a paycheck tonight, too.
He'll come up with something that he wants to buy this winter. What was it last? He wanted a GoPro or something last year.
Camera, fancy camera. You got that. Put him on the Phil Nichols financial plan.
Yeah.
First down and 10, near the Kansas border.
That's not good. Headed back towards Paul's Valley, and he'd be headed towards Dallas.
Hand off to Gavin, but we sure would like to see Gavin go about 97 yards here. He deserves it. 2-yard pickup there. As Gavin, brag on him real quick. 21 carries, 142 yards, and boy, over 1,000 yards rushing. And he wasn't. It's not like he's a 4-year running back.
Yep. And if you saw him at the first scrimmage of the year, and you saw him play tonight, you would not believe he's the same person.
Yeah. 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8. Jackson wants to throw. Goes to the far side. It's incomplete.
Gabe Gonzalez is one of those seniors as well. And Justin Stevenson has done such a fantastic job with Gavin. Nakia Stevenson, a point guard on the basketball team this winter. You'll get to see her done such a wonderful job with those kids and transforming their mannerisms and getting their body language right, you know, and you hear from coaches all the time, when your body language is good, it affects your performance both in a good way and a bad way.
Third down and 8. Number 8, Jackson rolls out, throws it on the run, dumps it off, caught by Isaac across the 10. 13-yard line, first down for the Jays. 2:55 left in this one as the Tigers lead this one 41-14. Ardmore will host the Noble Bears next week here inside Noble Stadium. And Bishop McGinnis moves on. Altus officially moves on. They held off Lawton Eisenhower 35-28. Carl Albert won 41-15. Tahlequah over Coweta. Sky took over Glenpool. Noble over Kelly. And right now the only other game being played right now in 5A with this one is in Shawnee. Claremore has a 21-14 lead as that one goes to the far side at the 25-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup. Gabe Gonzalez, second down and 1.
What's going to disappoint you the most is to know that you had a home game with Noble next week if you could have won this game. That just kind of dangles that carrot in front of you.
But it gives you the chance of maybe losing to Noble. I don't like that feeling. Ardmore on the road. We can see that one. But Noble, I kid. Noble is a much better program, a much better team, I should say. Now as the pass is incomplete.
Their baseball coach Kyle Davison is their offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And he is a fantastic.
Yes, he is.
Fantastic coach.
Absolutely.
So I can definitely see that.
So here are your round 2 matchups. It'll be Noble coming to Ardmore. It'll be Tahlequah going to Bishop McGinnis. We're waiting to see who's going to Carl Albert. It's either Shawnee or Claremore. And did I say Sky took one earlier? I think they did. Yeah, Sky took one kind of big there as Jackson finds the receiver at the 30 to the 35. into the 40-yard line. And it is a first down for the Blue Jays. 2:15 to play in this one. The other ball game will be Skytook will be going on the road to Altus for the second round. So Skytook at Altus.
Skytook to Altus. Jeez.
So you think Carl Albert will have any issues? Jackson Waddell throws it on the run, caught at the 42 to the 45 to the midfield line. A 9-yard pickup brings up second down and 1-2-0-1. 2 minutes to play left in the ball game.
Oklahoma State beat Pepperdine tonight 78-47.
Pepperdine must not be very good.
No, 31-point game.
Without 3 players for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
And the best one they have, Jeffrey Carroll.
Second down, 1-3, receivers to the far side. Bixby rolled over Stillwater, 41-14.
Yep.
Lawton leading Muskogee, 42-30. Jackson goes to the near side, caught by Isaac Lewis to the 43, to the 40, pushed out of bounds, stops the clock with minute 29 left in this one. Jays not giving up offensively, like to get one more offensive score into the book to finish off the 2017 season.
Certainly not bragging on it because I didn't want it to happen, but we did see that coming with Stillwater. The Bixby team that has won both of all 3 of the 6A2 state titles. When it comes time to play, they know how to do it.
Jackson throws it on the run. It's caught at the 35, and Gabe Gonzalez picks up the short pickup there. Some 6A1 scores. Tulsa Union rolls over Santa Fe 28-3. Broken Arrow separating from Norman North now 31-20. Jinx all over Moore 49-16, and Phil's Owasso Rams, they are in a battle. It was 7-0. It's now 37-8. Owasso over Westmore. Jackson Waddell pass incomplete on the far side, and Phil was saying it was 7-0. Owasso, I kept saying 7-0, 7-0, 7-0, third quarter 7-0. He said they were cold. They were cold. Phil, what happened? 37-8 now.
Well, you got warmed up, Chris.
Got warmed up.
Blue Jays are going to, they've used Isaac all night long, use him as a decoy and see if they can't hit big number 3 right down the seam for 6.
Third down and 7. Guggesberg into motion. Guggesberg and Isaac have been big-time receivers tonight. Jackson throws on the run, and Guggesberg was wide open, but Jackson unable to get it to him at the 16-yard line. Clock stops with 45 seconds. Upcoming will be 4th down and 7. Could be the final offensive play for the Jays.
Heave it in the end zone and see if you can complete a Hail Mary.
They go for a first down about the 25-yard line. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Isaac Lewis on the near side. Jackson takes the shotgun snap. Comes to the near side, caught by Isaac. Close to a first down. Got to give it to him, right? Got to give it to him.
This one, as a receiver, you got to drive to the sticks. You got to know where the first down's at and get past them. So when you do complete the pass, it is a first down, and that's something Isaac Lewis did.
Sure did. Good catch there by Isaac. We've seen some good catches on both teams here tonight.
Got to get up on the ball and run a play.
Blue Jays now over 300 yards of offense, 312 on their 58 offensive snaps. It is a first down.
Did not quit giving effort at any point in time in this game. You got to be proud of him for that.
4 receiver set. Isaac Lewis by himself. There's a safety sneaking over. Jackson rolls, has time to throw. Wants it all in the end zone, and it is incomplete, but here comes a flag.
Yeah, we get to hear the ref mic one more time if he decides to turn it on. The ref mic that Phil Nichols is going to get from him as soon as he jogs off the field, correct?
Gabe Gonzalez, the intended receiver. Coach Scott Mick trying to get the senior a touchdown on that play there, but draws the flag instead. And half the distance, we would think the ball will be in around the 14-yard line. Pass interference is the call. Ardmore.
Tigers. Got defensive pass interference against Ardmore. First down.
8 penalties against Ardmore. Blue Jays just 5 penalties tonight. I only remember 1 penalty being kind of big.
Yeah. Well, the pass interference on the 3rd and 15.
4 receiver set. Pass caught at the 7. Isaac Lewis battles to the 5 and close to a first down. A 9-yard pickup. Jay's got to hurry up, get to the football. 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds.
Gonna down one here and run one more play.
8 seconds, 7 seconds.
You can't down it from a shotgun position.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. This will be the final play of the season. Jackson Waddell is hit as he throws it, and that is the ball game. Unless there's a flag down, don't send any flags, and that is the ball game. Ardmore Tigers in the season for the Blue Jays. Final score 41-14 as we hear the Guthrie Band play one final time. Blue Jays in their season 5-6 in the first round of the playoffs after qualifying for the 13th straight season. Out. Come back with the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Blue Jay Sports Network.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. Call Golden Age Nursing Home at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
Coming up next, it's the Terra Insure Group postgame show featuring stats, highlights, plays of the game, on-field interviews, and the player of the game.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
And we welcome you inside the Terra Insure Group show from Carter County, Ardmore, Oklahoma, just 30 miles from the Texas border. We welcome you inside the Terra Insure Group alongside Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Kel Evans, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Blue Jays lose it here to end their season to the Ardmore Tigers. Final score 41-14, and Ardmore took advantage of 3 turnovers, turning those into 21 points. Big plays early on with 2 70-yard drives to begin the game, and Guthrie made it a little bit of a contest there in the first half, but simply too much for Ardmore.
Made it 14-7, and then had Ardmore in a 3rd down and 17. And Ardmore ran a reverse, got it down to the 5, and then made it 4th down and 5, or 4th down and about 4 from the 6-yard line. And the quarterback Cox ran that quarterback duck. Looked like the Blue Jays had him corralled. Guthrie missed a couple of tackles, and Cox scored and took a 21-7 lead. And really, that was the most stress that Guthrie had put on Ardmore on the evening until the beginning of the second half. Guthrie comes out and scores on their first possession, and then gets a kick down inside the 5, stops Ardmore on a 3-and-out. Have the ball back to try to pull within a couple of scores. Can't do it. Ardmore scores a couple of plays later, and for the most part, that was all she wrote.
Blue Jays hugging each other as they seniors play their final time and take their uniform off for the final time in a Blue Jay uniform. A lot of hugs going on down there as Ardmore wins it 41-14. While we got a second, be sure to Visit our title sponsor of the postgame show, Terra Insurance Group, at 2403 South Division. That's right across the street from the Beacon Drive-In. Seth Robbins, Dennis Oaks, and Jason Hers will take care of you, but it's the friendly smiles, the two ladies up front that really run the business, if you will. But auto, watercraft, RV insurance, pet insurance is coming soon, earthquake insurance, renter's insurance, all the great stuff at TIGOK.com. If we get Kel Evans to zoom in on Phil Nichols at the 24-yard line, we'll get set for our post-game interviews here, and we'll always begin with our FCA Player of the Game. And all of our on-field interviews are brought to you by the John Vance Auto Group. With that, let's go downstairs with our offensive FCA Player of the Game.
Guys, no great surprise. I'm here with Gavin. Senior campaign, great year, Gavin. Great ball game tonight. I mean, you hurdle a kid in the first half, truck kids all night. You played with passion and showed great leadership all night. Just talk a little bit about your senior campaign and playing with these guys you played with your whole life, right?
This was no better way to have a good senior season. I love these guys. I've been playing with them since Pee Wee ball. They're my brothers, and I love them. And it's been harder without them. And this is a disappointing ending, but I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else.
A great senior campaign, Gavin, and this is Coach Porter up here in the booth. Wanted to congratulate you. I know we've done it several times this year on the way that you played this year. And I know the terminology you use when you think something's good is you say it's chill. Well, I wanted to say that the way that you played this year was chill. Does that make any sense to you? Am I right on that terminology?
Yes, sir, you are correct.
Hey, Gavin.
Hey, great season, Gavin.
Gavin, 22 carries tonight, 144 unofficially, but I know you're all about the team, but you go over 1,000 yards rushing. It's not like you've been a running back all these years, but really turn it on. What do you come away with that rushing for over 1,000 yards this season?
It was a great experience. I'm glad they moved me, and I'm glad I got to work harder this. And I wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates, them pushing me every practice. I wouldn't be able to do it without my linemen working hard every single week, every single Friday. I can't do anything without them, so it was just a good experience, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Not only just this season and the way that you performed this season, but I think that the lessons that you learned this year and through your entire career as a football player, and you still had some other sports to go here your senior year, but I think you're going to be able to take a lot of these lessons into anything you do past high school.
Yes, sir, I am. I feel like I grew as a person throughout this season. I've always had an attitude problem, and I'm glad I worked on it and became a better leader this season for these guys and this senior season.
Gavin, you were big time. It was fun to watch you throughout this entire season, and it was fun seeing you hurdle people and taking off some big runs. You deserve that praise for over 1,000 yards, probably on your way to an all-district top performance as well.
Well, guys, I want to just throw my 2 cents, and Gavin just talked about it, but had a tremendous year on the field, but we've talked about it all season. Just an unbelievable job of maturity and just leadership. And, I know we're all very, very proud of Gavin and what he's done this year. Just a tremendous job, son. We're all very proud of you. Great job.
Great job, Gavin.
That is Gavin Bryson, the FCA Offensive Player of the Game. Again, Gavin Bryson, 22 carries, 144 yards, almost had 100 yards in the first quarter by himself. I think he had around 70, 75 yards in that first
fantastic
quarter.
Player.
Absolutely. And one of the leading players
Talking about fantastic players.
Yeah, one of our best offensive players to one of our best defensive players. We bring in Dane Jenkins, tonight's FCA Player of the Game.
Well, now hold on. Dane can play a little offense too, right?
You can catch the rock a little bit.
He did have a touchdown last week. My bad.
A little shake in him there.
All right, let's go back downstairs with Phil.
Yeah, I'm here with Dane. Of course, the defensive leader all year, and 3-year starter. Guy that's not done playing football. He'll be playing somewhere next year on a Saturday. But Dane, just talk about your career playing with these guys. I know it's always hard to come to an end, and you played your entire life with these guys, obviously. So just talk about your teammates a little bit, and just what does that mean to you?
And I've grown up with these guys. All of them are good guys. I'd die for all of them. I'd lay my life down for any of them. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else playing football. I love this place.
And Dane, just kind of reflect back. Of course, you've been playing, you mentioned it, with these kids forever, and in this program forever through Little League and then junior high and high school. Just kind of reflect on some of the things that went through your mind as the clock hit 0.
Pretty much all of it. Everything going up to 12th grade, playing football. Just all that flashbacks, and just realized high school football is over.
What has it meant to you to be a Blue Jay with it, that successful as this program is? You kept the string alive to be in the playoffs for the 13th consecutive year in a row. What does it mean to you, Dane Jenkins, to be a Guthrie Blue Jay forever?
It means everything to me. I mean, I don't know what else to be. Like, I don't know what I would be without Guthrie.
Of course, Dane, great on the gridiron, but now probably the sport that you might be even better at, wrestling. I'm sure that's far from your mind right now. We'll see you plenty this winter. Have a great wrestling season. You had a great senior campaign, and congratulations on a great career.
Thank you.
That is Dane Jenkins, the defensive FCA player of the game. And Blue Jays lose it here by the final score to the Ardmore Tigers, 41-14.
You heard the emotion,
yeah,
in both of the kids. That's how much it hurts as a senior. That's how much A, they love playing football, and that's how much B, they love playing football as a Guthrie Blue Jay. You could hear the emotions, and they were real, obviously very, very, very real. And it means a lot to these kids.
Let's take Casey, let's take a timeout real quick. When we come back, we hope to have Coach Kelly Beebe. He's still down there talking to some of his seniors. Ardmore wins tonight, final score of 41-14. We'll take a timeout here on the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Come back with head coach Kelly Beebe. This is.
You step out of the storm shelter and your home has taken a direct hit. You went online and found a policy, but you can't remember who the carrier is. Now, your roof is torn off and your belongings are scattered all over the neighborhood. Where are you going to stay tonight? How do you begin the process of cleaning up? Terra Insure Group is Guthrie's local one-stop shop for all your insurance needs. The agents at TIG all live within this community and will be there after the sale when you need them the most. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by our offices at 2403 South Division across from the Beacon Drive-In.
After this, we bring you more from the stadium as the Terra Insure Group postgame show continues.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Terra Insure Group postgame show rolls on here in Ardmore, Oklahoma, as the Tigers, who we think is the number 2 team in 5A football behind the mighty Carl Albert Titans. In the Blue Jay season here, final score 41-14. We continue with our John Vance Motors on-field interviews. With that, we bring in the head football coach of the Blue Jays, Coach Kelly Beebe, who's standing by with Phil Nichols.
Guys, I'm here with head football coach Kelly Beebe. Coach, you know, we were just talking before we came on the air. This is the tough part, right? You got these seniors played the last high school football game, and it always sees babies right between the eyes like it did us years ago when we played, and that'll never change. But let's talk about this group of kids and these seniors in particular. You know, you had some guys. We talked about how much Gavin's grown up and matured, and of course Dane Jenkins and many others. But you know, just talk about this group of kids.
You know, we were short in numbers on our senior class. We got a lot of production out of them. You know, we mentioned Gavin, we mentioned Dane, Troy Branson, JB, Marquise Miller. I'm going to forget somebody on Isaac. The spot right here. Yeah, Isaac Lewis. 8-9 catches tonight. Brendan Hanna, Hanna coming in, and just a program kid. Just worked his tail off for 3 years in the weight room. Come in and man that center spot, they've done a good job of being there and trying to lead by example, and trying to, extend, our Blue Jay program, for lack of a better word, setting out to be better at the end than we were at the beginning. And, obviously we want to win more than we lose and make the playoffs. I thought they did a good job of getting us in. We're going to miss those guys. I mean, it's tough. I'm emotional right now. You know, and I told the team, you know, 3 weeks ago when we kind of knew we were do or die, you know, only one team finishes the season happy, you know, and we've been fortunate to do that 4 times, but everybody else, you know, goes back, you know, with that hunger in their belly to finish on a win, and you know, and I also told the underclassmen, you know, you hug these seniors and understand that in a very short time, it'll be your last night, whether that may be hoisting the gold ball or finishing in the playoffs or whatever it may be. So always an emotional night. You know, we spend so much time together and work so hard for a common goal. And when it's over, you know, there's a big emptiness there.
Coach, and one thing that always happens, you know, whenever you have adversity, the true character in people comes out. That's when you find out the true character in people. And starting 1-4, then going to Lawton and getting beat by Lawton Ike the way that you guys did, the way that you rally against Piedmont, and then go play great against Woodward and Guyman, and then give Ardmore a good game early on in this game. I really felt like your kids responded to that adversity very well.
Well, you know, this bunch has been behind the 8 ball several times, and the one thing to their credit, they've never laid down, and they've never shown anything but class, you know, and playing the game with respect. You know, and that's something that, you know, is important. You know, it's something we're constantly striving towards within the program, and you know, I got to commend the coaches and all the kids that got on the field tonight. I mean, they played their tail ends off. You know, they played hard. We had a couple mistakes and a couple turnovers that led to points, and you know, gave them a couple easy long runs where their angles weren't very good. You know, it's a hard offense to simulate in practice. You know, our scout team did a good job, but it hits different with that live offense, and the angles are different. And I thought we adjusted to it, you know, really well late in the second and then the second half, you know. And then I thought Coach Mick and the offensive staff, you know, did a good job of moving the ball around. We just, you know, we left some points out there, and anyway, you know, we just, you know, one of them nights that we got out on the field and we got beat.
You mentioned it a little bit, Coach, but I know when you have a season like this where you're limited in some areas and you have injuries in others, then you don't have a whole lot of seniors. It's very challenging from a schematic standpoint for all your coaches to come up with scheme every week to put your kids in great position. Talk about the great job that your coaches did this year.
Well, you know, you've seen us. We've been in 30 personnel. We've been in 12 personnel. We've been in 10 personnel. You know, and they've created 40 concepts and 50 concepts to try to attack what we're seeing, you know, as opposed to being able to block a dominant defensive lineman. We've run option game on them. You know, we've had multiple receivers catch the football, you know. And then I think the offensive line's improved all year long as far as making holes against quality defenses. You know, Gavin's really, really came on and ran the ball hard as well as Jackson, you know, throwing the ball. And, you know, defensively we've defended, you know, no huddle tempo spread, 8-second snaps with Enid and this power bone and McGinnis is 20 personnel OU offense and each week, you know, it's a 2-day weekend of film preparation and study and breakdown and then it's disseminating that information that can be, you know, taken up by the kid and utilized on the field is the key. You know, it's not what we know in the coach's office. It's what they know on the field in a split second and you know. The coaches have done an outstanding job, worked tirelessly at their position groups to try to get that accomplished.
Well, you had a bunch of great seniors. You mentioned all of them, Coach, but you also have a good group of underclassmen coming back with some talent.
We do. You know, there's a good core in that junior and sophomore class, and we got some players in that freshman class. We got 4 or 5 kids that may be able to help in the coming year. You know. And I just told him real quick, I said, you know, when I was hugging necks, I said, guys, remember this feeling in your belly right now. You know, when it's time to squat, when it's time to deadlift, when it's time to sprint, you know, in August when it's 110. You know, everything you do, every rep you put in, every clip of film you watch, et cetera, you're trying to avoid this moment. And, you know, it's a year-round mindset, you know, and I know the team's is hurting right now. And, you know, they should be, you know, because they put a lot of time and effort into it and had a lot of support from the community and the churches and the restaurants and the radio show and the administration. And, you know, it's a big deal when we play and it's a big deal when it's over.
Well, Coach, it's always tough, but 13 years in a row, I mean, it's still a program. It's a program that a lot of people would want to see on their field, but 13 years in a row, I know there's a lot of work to be done in the offseason, but Guthrie continues to be a team to be reckoned with and a brand that the state is still fully aware of.
Yeah, Coach Holloway, who's a Hall of Fame coach, I think he's in his 44th or 45th year, came over and found me through Coach Chappell, and I've known Coach Holloway for a while, and he's a great man. But he was so appreciative of the way our kids lined up and played technique and where they were supposed to be, even if they got blocked or got pushed back or whatever. He commented on those things, and that's a great affirmation for the hard work the kids put in, and the coaches getting them in a position to be successful.
Coach, we appreciate you all season long and all these years with us on the broadcast, and we appreciate you joining us once again here tonight, and have a great off season, and we appreciate you.
Fellas, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
The kids didn't quit, Coach. The kids didn't quit.
No, they haven't all year long, and we've been in positions they could have against a couple of teams. That was kind of our mindset. Was to try to get through that district slate and get one at the Rock. It's hard to come on the road as a 4 or a 3, especially on the west side of the state where I think the power truly is, and those are things that we just have to address, and hopefully the learning curve will be elevated next year with a lot of these returning players, and we'll be in a better position.
And add to that 1,500 miles worth of travel in the last part of your season when the schedule actually did lighten up a little bit. So.
And they really held up pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was proud of them. I'm obviously disappointed in the outcome of this football game, but I think there's more positives than negatives with this season.
Coach, we've taken up enough of your time. We appreciate everything you've done for us and look forward to a bright future.
You guys be safe.
Will do.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach Kelly Beebe, as part of our on-field interviews brought to you by the John Vance Auto Group. Take a time out here on the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Come back and wrap it up. This is the TIG postgame show.
Sports, a powerful force in our society. Through sports, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes impacts the young people of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Don't go away. More of the Terra Insure Group postgame show in a moment.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 and the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Final thoughts from the stadium are ahead on the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
Welcome back for the final time here in the 2017 season. The Ardmore Tigers take down the Guthrie Blue Jays. Final score 41-14 alongside Kel Evans, Phil Nichols, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. The 5A bracket moves on to the second round. It'll be the Noble Bears coming to Ardmore next week. It'll be Tahlequah going to Bishop McGuinness. Claremore takes down Shawnee, so Claremore gets a trip to Carl Lowert. And the Altus Bulldogs hold off Eisenhower, so Altus will host Skytook next week. And so you start with 16 teams, and you're down to the final 8 teams in 5A football. Of course, we pretty much summed up this season with Coach Kelly Beebe in our previous segment, but the Jays will look to have a great offseason and look to improve. They finished this year 5-6, not a winning record, but do qualify for the playoffs for the 13th straight year. And that's something that I will probably take away from this season is they didn't quit, like you mentioned with Coach Beebe, and they extend that playoff streak. And you can't win any postseason games if you don't get there. So at least they had a chance.
And I'll say this, too, and you know, Guthrie's won 4 state titles, and people around the community of Guthrie have become extremely spoiled when it comes to high school football. They've kind of forgotten what it's like for most places when you're talking about dealing with high school football. I mean, making the playoffs for most schools is a big deal, right? I mean, that's a successful season. So to say that you've made the playoffs 13 years in a row is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's an awesome deal. But then to say, is that the goal of Guthrie to make the playoffs and lose in the first round like we've done 3 years in a row? Obviously not. Nobody would think that, right? So here's the deal. The community of Guthrie right now as we speak needs to come together more than it ever has to support and back and give this program this whatever support it needs to become a state champion again. Am I wrong in what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying here?
Absolutely.
Instead of saying, well, we haven't done – you can't be like that in times like this. Not that it's bad at all, but we all want to be state champions. This is the time where you got to bond together and support each other the absolute most as a community to get back to winning gold balls, right?
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, big thank you to TIG.OK.com, Terra Insure Group, another great season here on the Postgame show. And big thank you to Seth, Jason, and Dennis out there. 2403 South Division. They're not going to wait. They're going to be with us in our winter sports broadcast as well. We invite you out there right across from the Beacon Drive-In. So
outstanding job they do. Is that a wrap for the final time?
That is a wrap. Hey,
is it really over?
It is over for the fall season. And again, a big thank you to Craig Fleck. Not only stats and numbers, but his voice inside my ears when you don't hear, and I get to say all the cool stuff and that he says. I just repeat it.
A great job that Kevin Roach did.
Yes. Well,
and Phil.
Phil's actually working. The only one working right now.
Yeah,
and,
he is.
Kel Evans
Fantastic.
Filling in for Kevin Roach tonight. Thank you to him, and he'll be with us this winter as well as we transition to Logan County sports with Guthrie wrestling, Guthrie basketball, as well as some Crescent basketball, some cash-in basketball, Mulhall, Coyle, all that good stuff. We'll inform you as we move on, but that does a wrap. Hey, a big thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. There's tons of them up and down the list, and they were, as always, eager to be with the broadcast. Don't have to twist their arms to get them on there. So excited for this program, and of course, no surprise there.
Not gold ball successful season, but a successful season nonetheless.
Absolutely. So the video, for the most part, it was good this year. There were some up and downs with it, but hopefully
for a first year is about as good as you could expect.
Absolutely, and we're going to look to improve that here in the coming weeks and get set for the winter sports and hit it strong. And hopefully we'll have multiple cameras and replays and all that good stuff. So we'll see how it looks here in the couple of weeks. So, and of course, the final thank you to all of our great listeners out there, our great viewers out there. We appreciate you staying with us the entire season now. We've been doing this since 2002, so we're starting to get to be the old guys around here.
Yeah, no doubt.
A big thank you to all of our great listeners out there. Final score for the final time as the Blue Jays end their season with a 5-6 record here in Ardmore, Oklahoma, as the Tigers, number 2 in Class 5A, take down the Blue Jays. Final score 41-14. For my partners tonight, Kel Evans on the camera, Craig Fleck on the stats, Phil Nichols on the sideline, my partner since 2002 with all the inside knowledge, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. We'll talk to you next football season, but before that, we'll talk to you this for the winter sports, Blue Jay basketball, Blue Jay wrestling, and Logan County sports. Until then, have a great weekend, and as always, go Blue Jays.
You've been listening to Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Guthrie Radio Network, home of the 4-time state champions. Guthrie Blue Jay football 2017 is brought to you by Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. Interbank, what's going on now at your hometown bank? Golden Chick, the original and still the best. John Vance Auto Group, where it's comfortable to buy a car. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Golden Age Nursing Home, making the toughest decisions of your life the easiest choice you've ever made. Eskridge Chevrolet, a name you can trust for over 50 years. Guthrie Blue Jay football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, Merritt Roberts Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Sonic on Highway 33 and I-35, Guthrie Tag Agency, and Hayes Funeral Home.